And we're in. Just give me a second to set everything up. I haven't streamed in a while, so I actually forget how to do some of this stuff. I don't even know. Like, you'll have to let me know if my like audio is set up correctly and all that. Like, um, yeah, I haven't haven't done this in a while. I don't even know if I'm even gonna get a whole lot of people in here. So just give me a moment to share it and stuff, because that's the other thing I need to do. I mentioned on my Twitter that I would go live at some point, and because I haven't in a while, I said I wanted to live stream. This was a couple days ago, and I don't know. I just wanted to, so here I am. Let me just make a Twitter post. And then where's the stream link? Share. There it is. There it is. There it is. Copy. I know that posting links on Twitter is like a death sentence. It just doesn't work in the algorithm at all. But who knows? Maybe this time. Yeah, wow, this it sucks. Like it doesn't even show the little like pop-up that it's supposed to be. The link doesn't work at all. Whatever. If you're here, you're here, and thank you for being here if you are. It has been a while. Let me swap over to the game here, because we are going to be playing Wilds today, and I don't... This won't be like a consistent thing here. Game. Here we go. The frame rate's going to be bad for a second, but then it should get better. I have not streamed this game before, so I don't know how well it's going to stream on my setup. I don't have like the most powerful computer ever. The game runs fine for me when I'm not streaming, so maybe if I'm streaming, things might be a little bit different. But thank you. Good to see you. Let's get hunting. Absolutely. Funny enough, I'm playing Wilds right now. So I'm just gonna play some offline here. Just going to, play the game, look at chat, talk with y'all. You'll have to let me know how the volume is for the game. Like, you can hear the sword swings just fine, and the character making the moaning noises. I shouldn't say moaning, like the normal like grunting stuff. So a couple things. If you're looking at my stream, this is not like vanilla Wilds, and like I gotta make that very, very clear. If it wasn't clear by the armor that's not in the game, this is not vanilla Wilds. Like the mini map on the screen here is not what you normally have in the game. There's a couple other things that are different, such as if I pick up an item, it'll be like an old school sound. I also don't have like skill pop-ups. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if there's any other like major design changes. Wow, it wants me to mount the Sacred. It's like, mount it. I'm like, no, I don't need to mount it right now. I'm good. I'm just walking around. Dude, I don't want to mount the Sacred. Maybe it's because I'm close to this thing, and if you have the Sacred, you can jump onto it. Probably. That's probably why. Yeah. If any other mods come up, I'll mention them, but most of it is cosmetic. Oh, there's no scout flies. I don't have any scout flies turned on. My character here is my, like... It's my anime OC character from the visual novel I'm working... It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just know that it's... I don't know, it's just some, like, pink-haired girl, and we're wearing Kieran armor, because why not? I don't know what equipment I even have, because I've been playing mostly a lot of Monster Hunter 4 recently. A lot of Monster Hunter 4. Oh, we can fight a Rathian. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Say, is that Kieran? Yes, it is Kieran. Ride the bird. I guess, yes, absolutely. I'm not afraid of the bird. That Rathian is leaving, isn't she? She's totally just taking off. Yeah, she's gone. So I guess I could do Quimetries? I could? What is my alternate weapon? It's Thunder. Is he weak to Thunder? I could check. I haven't, yeah, I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter 4 recently, so if I'm a little bit, like, rusty or weird at the game, that would be the reason why. No Scout Flies, old school map and sounds. I'm jealous. Yeah, I feel bad for those on, like, PlayStation, because there's no mod support on PlayStation, but, the little things add a lot, I will say. I've mentioned it before, like, I'm very happy with Wilds overall. Like, I really love this game. I think it just works for me in ways that I did not expect. And, like, the stuff in 5th gen that I didn't really like, even though it's here, there's some stuff here that in 5th gen I didn't like. I think the way that it was handled here in conjunction to everything else is why I suddenly, I don't know, like, I just suddenly really like Wilds. And I think it's too long to, like, really explain it all and to list it all, so I won't bother. Which is why kind of like my review is so short when I used to make very long videos. Because I just don't think it's really worth it. A lot of video game discussion is so... I think it's misplaced. Like, a lot of... I can summarize a lot of video game discussion as basically, it's a bunch, like, it's either you like the game or you just don't like the game. It's really that simple. And sometimes when you like a game so much and then there's a sequel, what ends up happening is, oh, well, the sequel wasn't exactly like that original game. And then a lot of the people that enjoyed the game originally, of course, well, if it's different, they're not gonna, for sure, like the new game as much. And then they, you know, they make a big stink about it, and they're like, well, it's nothing like the one I played previously. And it's like, well, I don't think that was the point. So, I don't know. I've changed my attitude on a lot of stuff. I mentioned it in my Ascendance trailer overview. Like, I don't know if I think I've gotten too old for this. I think that's literally all it is. Like, it's like, these, like, endless debates, they don't bother me anymore. But if I'm live here, I don't mind having one-on-one conversation. One-on-one conversations is fun. Anyway. I'm jealous of getting to play Wilds, period. All I have is PS4 and a laptop. Oh, that's lame. Yeah, video game industry is kind of in shambles right now. I don't think I need to repeat that. I think we're all aware of that. But what a shame. Like, I went to my Best Buy recently, a local Best Buy, just to see, like, how much is a new PC? And, like, in Canada, I'm in Canada, a new PC, like, pre-built, is going for, like, minimum $3,000. So, like, and then, you know, like, you think about, like, the cheap options, it's like, oh, the Steam machine, I think it's, like, 1,500 in Canada. Like, not a good, like, the price is technically better than a pre-built PC, but, like, you're not getting the, you know, the hardware that's needed to run most modern games. It's not gonna work. And the industry almost needs to have these things. You know, the cutting edge technology, otherwise Joe Schmo, you know, like, people like my, I say this with love when I say this, but people like my stepfather, who is like a PS5 guy, like, he represents, like, the general, you know, video game player base, which are just dudes who get off work and they play, like, Arc Raiders for, like, 4 hours, then they go to bed. Like, they just want their games to look beautiful and nice. You know, they love things like God of War, and so when when you're Capcom and you're looking at, well, what is the average person, not the person on Twitter, the average person who actually plays and buys these games, which is just like the typical PS5 user or like Xbox user. Well, they're looking for hyper-realism, so of course they're going to do that in all their games, which is the mandate. And if you're pursuing hyper-realism, then the hardware has to match it, and if the hardware has to match it, then the hardware has to be expensive, and then we got all the stuff that's causing the hardware to be even more expensive, and it's just a nightmare. The whole thing is a nightmare. You're very well. You're very well at putting your opinion into words. I don't think so. I don't think so. The discussion around this game, I think people end up past talking past each other about wilds. The AI bubble needs to pop. Yeah, absolutely. Are you just running around the map and hunting whenever? The best way? Yes. Well, that's how I love to like. That's how I play this game. Typically, I will just go to a map and then just hunt things. Though I will mention, partially because I'm streaming, I will not bother with anything that's like 9-star and above because I will probably fail and I don't want to embarrass myself. I have been playing this game a lot, but I'm still like not good at Monster Hunter, unfortunately. Despite all my years playing all the different games, and my hope to master the weapons, there really is like tiers to Monster Hunter know-how and mastery, where like you get to a certain point where you're so good at the game that like the game can't keep up with you. Thankfully, I'm not there yet. I'm not at that point, so I don't have to worry about that, but I'm worried about the day. I guess I am worried. I'm worried about the day where, you know, I am so good at the game that even like a 9-star or a 10-star monster is too easy for me. And I think that it's I guess I could talk about that. That is one of the complaints that Wilds has, was that the game was I guess like quote unquote too easy. But I don't know. I think all Monster Hunter is pretty easy unless it's like the first 2 generations. And even then, like if you played the game correctly, typically, which correctly means that you play it with 3 other people online. That's what this game was meant to be played, unless you're playing the single player story, which that also is always meant to be easy. The games are just not hard. Like I don't know. I think there's a big learning curve, but once you get over it, Monster Hunter is a pretty simple game, and I don't think that they necessarily want the game to be difficult until the very, very end game. Like yes, absolutely, like Latreon and the 10-star monsters, those are meant to be hard, but like what I'm fighting right now, this, I don't think they ever were like, yeah, this needs to be difficult. It just needs to be a challenge for like the average player. What's the minimap mod called? Game audio is a bit loud. Okay, sorry. Let me fix that. Thank you. I will fix that. Don't take me back to the monster. Please and thank you. I haven't done the streaming in a while, so hopefully that's a better volume. Is that not too loud? The minimap mod is just called, like, Monster Hunter 4 minimap. Should be easy to find. The main hub for maps, not map, what am I saying, for mods, for Monster Hunter games, tends to be Nexus mods. And all the good ones for Wilds are on Nexus mods. Just be warned, there's, like, a lot of trash on there. Like, that goes for like every game there with mods. There's a lot of trash. I've also been playing For You on my 3DS. Got a knockoff hunting gear so my hands don't cramp up. Highly recommend them. Yeah, I can't play portable consoles anymore unless it's like, I don't know, like the Switch. Like, the Switch is fine. I think that by the time we got to the Switch, we kind of perfected what, like, a handheld device should look like, which is basically like the PSP, but more ergonomic. Like, the DS is awesome, and I think it works best when it is like a book. Like, the early DS games, the games that it was kind of made for the console, I think they work really, really well. But as, you know, I don't think action games work really well for the 3DS. And I don't know if that's really a hot take. Maybe it is. So I tend to play the 3DS titles on my computer these days. I wish New World games, early game was longer like the old World games. Oh, like have like more like slow moments. Yeah, I would say that like I was pretty dissatisfied with the amount of like small monsters in the game and like that level of progression. But that's kind of how it's just been. Like even in World it was like that. They make you fight Great Jagras almost immediately. What is happening with the ground? Is that like a load error thing? I don't know. I've never seen this before, so that might be because I'm streaming, and maybe the computer is screaming. If the stream randomly cuts off, it just means that that was my computer's limit. Because again, I've not streamed this game before, so I don't know what the limit is. Meaning to ask, since you're Pikmin Jacob, what's your favorite Pikmin game, and what do you think of Pikmin 4? It's a great question. I like Pikmin 2 the best. I'm one of those. I'm a Pikmin 2 enjoyer. I like Pikmin 4. I really liked Pikmin 4 when it came out, and I think it was because of the... I enjoyed the... I called it, like, to me it was like fan service. I felt the game had a lot of fan service that really appealed to a Pikmin 2 fan like myself. However, on replaying Pikmin 4, I've decided I don't think it's my favorite anymore. Like I think I like Pikmin 1 and 2 more than Pikmin 4. And I'm not a big Pikmin 3 guy. I think the game is fine, but it's not my favorite. But I put a lot of time into the Pikmin series. I've played that not as much as I played Monster Hunter, but it's probably my second most played video game series. I played a lot of ROM hacks of Pikmin 2 as well. Those are very fun. I love your Monster Lego sets. Thank you. Yeah, it's been my main focus. I just enjoy doing creative stuff more so than analytical or I'm not analytical, like analysis or review type content, which I was doing for a bit. I feel like I just kind of fell into that because it was, you know, it was getting me views and it was making some money. But the truth is, like, I like creative stuff. I want to tell my own stories. I want to create my own pieces of art. And if I want to show that I truly love Monster Hunter, and I'm doing it through my Lego project. I want to show that, like, yes, I do adore the art direction. I like what these games are trying to say and do, and I like to combine it with the hobby that I've enjoyed my whole life. I want to create things that people can build themselves and enjoy. And it's worked out. People seem to really like the models. There's a lot of monsters that there really is not any good models for. Like official Capcom licensed distributed action figures. Like, yeah, if you want an action figure of Rathalos, well, that exists. But Azure Rathalos? Nope. You know, Silver Rathalos? Nope. There's the Capcom Figure Builder series or whatever. But that's another one where it's like, they're tiny. Their paint job isn't really the best on those. I can say that I've owned one. It was during the era of Monster Hunter 4, so maybe they've improved since then. But I've seen some of them where I'm like, okay, the paint job is a little bit rough. And I think just because there's too many monsters, you kind of need like a system if you were to like really make figures for them all. And my Lego kind of answers that. But my goal is not to compete with Capcom. It was always to celebrate. It is fan art at the end of the day. Now I consider Sunbreak... Sorry, I'm gonna... Wait, is he actually dead, or... He's not actually... Yeah, he's awake, right? It would have ended the quest. I fell for it. I spent roughly 100 hours just to reach high rank Gen Moran, but only 30 to reach 9-star Lagiacrus in Wilds. Yeah, that's fair. Which game did you play first? Did you play Tri recently? Because I know for myself, when Tri was my first game, and I think I spent... Yeah, probably like 60, maybe 70 or 80 hours to finish this just like the story mode, or yeah, no, I guess to reach Jen Moran in Try. I think it was something like at least 80 hours. And a lot of that was just learning the game, and a lot of that was failure. But of course, like with Wilds, like I know how to play Monster Hunter, so of course I'm gonna blast through it. Like it's no big deal. I snapped the circle pad off of my DS fighting Shagru Miguel. That sucks. That sucks. My 3DS is slowly kind of it was on, I think it's on its last legs. I haven't used it in a while. I know I missed some like final updates for some of the games, and now that the eShop is down, like you can't get those updates in the official way anymore, and so it's kind of a nightmare. Gaming industry is a nightmare. You know, they always say like hold on to your physical games, but most physical games these days aren't even actually physical. Like they're with all Nintendo games, it's all just like a license. You have a cartridge with a license to play that game, and they can revoke that. And if the eShop goes down, you don't get the updates. And sometimes if your hardware updates, but the game needs like a certain version of the hardware, then it just won't run, which has happened with, I tried to play Animal Crossing on my 3DS, and that happened. It literally said, like, you have to update both your hardware and the software, and I'm like, I can't do that. I don't have access to eShop, and I'm not willing to, you know, jailbreak the 3DS. So it was over. Like, literally, I couldn't even play the game. It was a shame. Pikmin 2 has some surprisingly great ROM hacks. It does, it does. It's great to me how many monsters have been neglected for the bigger scale models. I need a Chameleos and Amiel model in my life, dude. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm surprised Capcom hasn't just gone ahead and made, you know, like all, at least all the Elder Dragons. Like, people love Chameleos. Like, make like I would say like affordable larger figures, like the same kind of style that they would do like a lot of like prize figures of like anime girl statues. They did it like that kind of size. I think that could do well, but again, I think the cost to produce versus the amount of people who will actually buy it probably doesn't, they probably have analytics to check that. Yeah, I don't know. I will say that despite all of the people who, you know, have built the models that I've built out of Lego using my instructions, it's still a very small amount. Like, we're not talking like hundreds of thousands, right? Which is probably what they want. They want hundreds of thousands of sales to justify the production cost. So. Damn, Namiel got done so dirty. Not even a single orchestra version of their theme. That's a shame. Namiel is a cool monster. That's one I hope to see in Ascendance. I want to see as many Elder Dragons. My, like, insane prediction is Yamasukami. I think Yamasukami is actually going to happen in Ascendance. Like, unironically. I'm going to die on that hill. It's happening. Bandai needs to get all in on Monster Hunter kits. That could work, yeah. If you had your own, like, you make your own kits. What am I saying? You know, like buildable kits, like Gunpla type buildable Monster Hunter figures. That could work. That could work. You know, that's far more affordable, and people would absolutely eat those up. They would buy them. I could see that. I built your Lagiacrus top notch. Thank you. I'm assuming the new version, not the old version. Because I updated it, I think, a year ago? Yeah, I updated it a year ago. Bandai made a Gore Magala waifu model. Yeah, they did do that. That is a bit of a white whale for me. I feel like if I saw that in like at like an anime con, I might pick that up. Because that's like a very strange, weird piece of like Monster Hunter memorabilia. Like who, like what was the story behind that? Like why were they like, yeah, let's turn Gore Magala into like an anime girl and make a figure about it? What am I doing? Yo, Frenzy and Kaku's got hands. No, I'm just playing horribly. There's a great large-scale Chameleos model made by Dragon Frontier Studio. Oh yeah, so those are like very large custom models. I think they're done in a license agreement with Capcom, or maybe they are just fan art. I'm not sure. I don't really know the legality behind that. And I try to be careful with that stuff, you know. I love weird merch. I have figures of the Palcos from the 4U Mario collab. And the weirdest of all, a set of Monster Hunter Portable Third shot glasses. I wish I could have gone to Comiket when like Portable Third came out, because that was like the peak of Monster Hunter like fan comics and like fan memorabilia. I don't know if it's still as large as it is today, but I really like the old school style that used to be around at that time. So I'm very hopeful. I was talking about before the about Ascendance, and despite like my worries, I've talked about it in my video. You can go watch my video. Despite some of my concerns regarding the combat direction, because I was like, I'm pretty happy with the combat in Wilds as it is. I don't think it needs anything else, and if they're gonna add in like special moves, it's like I don't think we need that in this game, but it's fine. Like I'll learn to live with it if, you know, the rest of the content makes up for it. I'm using a wrong weapon. I should not be using Thunder for this. But like if they're gonna add Kashella, which Kashella Daura is one of my absolute favorite monsters, it makes me happy. Like I think that if they go crazy and they add things like Lao Shen Lung and my, you know, my insane, what is happening? Why am I my insane predictions like Yamasakami, I think I'll be very happy. I think I'll be very happy with Ascendance. I also have a very positive feeling that I'm going to enjoy Portable 6. Because if I liked Wild so much, and I'm assuming that they're not going to do wire bugs again. Some people have told me like, oh, they're absolutely going to do wire bugs again. No, I don't think they'll do wire bugs again. I have a feeling that Portable 6 is going to be closer to Generations, where it'll be a lot of like, okay, here's all the monsters again. But this time, you know, it's another like return to form. You're just, you know, you're just a hunter for a village, just like how Rise was, with a lot of content from World, Rise, Wilds, plus a couple new things. I'm pretty hopeful for the future of the series overall. I don't want to be negative. I was too negative for a while, and I think it was literally just because like I straight up just didn't vibe. And if you just don't vibe with like the game, it's like, yeah, I can kind of get to and be like, I guess it's over. Then I played this and I was like, I don't know, I like this one. So who knows? Maybe this is the last good Monster Hunter, or at least for me, the last one I enjoy. I shouldn't say the last good. Don't take that out of context. The last one I enjoy. I got my hands on the Mizitsune Zoid model. Love it so much. You know, I had someone comment on like my TikTok, because I make TikToks for my Lego Monster Hunter models, and someone totally commented. They were like, I wish Capcom would do this, but with Zoids. And I'm like, brother, they have. like, I don't know what to tell you. They have. They had so long to make another portable game. I really don't want to buy a Switch 2. Yeah, I would buy one if you... Okay, for one, I don't think the next portable game will be a Switch exclusive. Capcom is done with console exclusives. They don't do that anymore. All the evidence says they're not going to do console exclusives anymore. Well, even, like, Wilds is coming to Switch 2 soon. Like, like, the next game is going to be on all platforms. So I don't think you have anything to worry about buying a Switch 2. However, if there's something else you want to buy regarding the Switch 2, you should probably invest in the Switch 2 now before the cost of the console goes up. I bought mine before the price hike earlier in the year because I was like, well, eventually they'll do Pikmin 5. And even though I'm not exactly the fondest of what Nintendo is doing, like, I would not consider myself like a Nintendo fanboy by any means. You know, there are still some artists and developers that work at Nintendo that it's like, well, I want to see their vision. I want to see what, like, the next Pikmin is going to be. And I know for a fact that eventually Miyamoto is going to retire and maybe the new wave of Nintendo management and producers will be, like, stronger. We don't know. We have no idea. I don't know. It's tough. So I ended up buying the Switch 2, kind of caved on that. Maybe not the best choice, but whatever. I wanted to play Tomodachi Life as well, and that one doesn't even need to Switch 2. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Buy it now. If you have any thought, you unfortunately have to buy it now before the cost goes up, because this industry sucks. If you want to partake in this hobby, you just have to fork out hundreds of dollars. I want to see underwater combat return. It's already apparent that they can make good underwater combat with a Gyarados. Yeah, I have a feeling that if not Portable 6, it's going to be Monster 7. They're gonna try it again. I really do think they are gonna try it again eventually, because there are people on the team that work at, like, the Capcom Monster Hunter teams that like underwater monsters. They like the underwater combat and they want to try it. The big things that will be difficult to manage are, of course, the insect glaive, because they'll probably have to make a new type of insect glaive where it's like an insect glaive, but the bugs are like crabs or something that can, like, be underwater. Because yeah, like, that's one concern, and then the other concern is your cat. The cats can't swim. That's been a series thing for a long time. So if they brought back underwater combat, your cat would not be able to go in the water with you. So I guess they could just do the shakalakas again, but I don't know. The palicos are kind of a big deal. Like, they're a big part of the experience. So I do think it's gonna happen. I don't know how they're gonna go about it. We loved your panel, which you uploaded to YouTube. Stuff like that is also super fun to watch. I think I keep accidentally reading only your comments. I gotta read everyone else. Nintendo and Square Enix are so garbage nowadays. I'm an old man who remembers when they were straight magic. Part of it was limitations, and just the gaming industry and environment was more... It allowed for more artistic freedom, I think, and now everything is really held back by immense technical expectations. Like, everything needs to look beautiful. It has to look amazing. And the cost and manpower required to make games look beautiful and amazing is just difficult. Like, it's not what it used to be. It requires, like, a small country to make games now, when in the past it was more like, I don't know, you can get away with, like, a couple dozen people make a game. Budgets are getting higher. Investors are asking for certain things, and games are being made by investors and not by artists. It's not really the best. We also have to understand too that, like, a lot of Japanese companies, they're still managed by a lot of, like, older folks that still think video games are just toys. Like that's the situation with like Nintendo. Miyamoto still thinks video games are just toys, and they're not really like, it's not like necessarily like a new form of like art, and that's why we get like very I guess old-fashioned way of viewing these things and content. Should I kill this one, or yeah, you know what? I'll kill this one. A lot of innovation is held back. I would say like creative storytelling innovation, because like obviously there's a lot of there's still a lot of like gameplay innovation that's happening out of Japan. Japanese companies are still pretty great at that, and that comes from them viewing it as toys. But when it comes to storytelling, narrative storytelling, and gameplay narrative storytelling, like that, it's kind of been affected by some companies, some productions, I guess. Sorry, I'm talking too fast. It's been a while since I've streamed, so I'm just a little bit frantic and scatterbrained, awkward. My apologies. Well, the deal. What do you think of wire bugs will help you in underwater combat? I guess I could see that. Yeah. Like, truthfully, they could do anything. I have a feeling that they could just do something crazy with underwater combat where, I don't know, you maybe not a wire bug, but you get like a new type of armor that does like a thing, can like propel you or something. I don't know if I'd necessarily want that. Underwater combat kind of requires a gameplay that is slower, because underwater combat is slower. It is slower than ground combat. Helico can use their tiny submarine. Did he die? He died. Wilds is such a focus on its scale as a selling point, but so little reason to actually spend time in the world like the trailers suggested. There is obviously reason to spend time in the world, but I wouldn't really say it's like how the trailer suggested. I just think that the gameplay loop of Monster Hunter is antithetical to the more like nuanced aspects of Monster Hunter, like exploring the world. Like think about it. Like, most gameplay sessions with Monster Hunter is you go to the hub, you play with your friends, like you link up with your friends, you go on a quest, you come back, and then you repeat that over and over and over again, because that leads you to the next thing. It really is your choice to experience the world as it is, and it is nice. It's almost like a bunch of Easter eggs. It's wonderful that they put this much thought into it. Is there ways to maybe like remedy that? Not remedy. Maybe is there ways to kind of force the player, I guess, to interact with the world more? Potentially. But most of the time, when that happens, players will just avoid it. They'll find ways to avoid it because the main gameplay loop tends to just be what they do. I'm glad that they put any effort into this, which they did. But yeah, I don't think there's like a perfect like winning scenario, especially with the direction that this series is going. I forgot that was not the Hirabami I was fighting. I'm just on what's the word? Is he flying up? What's happening? Hello? Do I have a throwing knife? There we go. I'm on autopilot right now, fighting these monsters. So I'm glad that they're not difficult. I'm just fighting like the low tier Glub Shidos. Saw someone say that they missed the color. I really gotta tell you, like that's it's totally fair. I've seen a lot of people say that. What I love about Wilds so much is how much it color grading reminds me of like Monster Hunter 1, which is a really, really reserved and almost naturalistic color grading to it. World was like that too, but I think I like the art direction of this game just a little bit more than World. Actually, a lot more than World. There we go. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate Frontier set the bar too high for me. I honestly feel like I can't enjoy the new games anymore since graphics and accessibility have taken priority over genuine innovation. I think they've tried to innovate. I think every game has like brand new crazy gimmicks that don't always land for everyone, but sometimes they do, and that's how they become a favorite. Like a lot of people consider wire bugs to be a massive innovation, and they love the games, like the game with wire bugs. They love Rise because of the wire bugs, and it's a big part of the gameplay loop and the combat. Like they really, really like it. And then they're going to be like, why can't they make another game with wire bugs? Because they probably won't, if we're going to be real. And that's just because, well, that was just the gimmick for that game. I think I need to take a hot drink. My maybe concern is, maybe not concern, something that I'm saddened about is the fact that these games only do get one big expansion, and that's it. I think that a lot of these games, especially the newer ones, we're at a point where I think we deserve more than one expansion. Like, I will keep playing this game if there was another expansion. I'm sure a lot of people would keep playing Rise if there was another expansion. But that's not where Capcom's priorities are, because they would prefer if you kept buying the new product. It is all just a machine. Like, I'm very happy that there are artists who are working on this, and I really do believe in the artists who are working on it. But at the same time, like, they have to answer to the investors. I'm just glad that... no. That some of the really radical ideas were able to make it through into this game, even though maybe not everyone likes it. And for all the monster discussion over the years, creative videos and stopped for similar reasons. Love hearing mutual praise for the series, especially the older games. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's tough. I don't know. It's hard for a game, especially like Monster Hunter, where people are very passionate about the different entries, and there are some people who like really only love certain entries. There's some people that's like, I only really like World, or I only really like Generations Ultimate, for example. Or, you know, there's people who played Tri, and they're like, well, these games, none of the games, even 3 Ultimate, have ever been like Tri. And so you get like these very wildly different opinions. And I think it affects the conversation drastically. You get a lot of people who are very passionate about their favorite entry in the series, and they don't really have interest in the other entries, or the Grand Series in general. And so when you try to talk about the series in general and its evolution, you can kind of get a lot of like strong differing opinions. And I don't know if I necessarily want to be at the, like, I want to be a position for that. Not position, like a, I don't want to be at a, like, at the helm of a community for that. I think that's what I mean to say. The monster subspecies I really want is for Gore and Shaker Magala based off their early designs. At that point, I think it should just be a new monster, yeah? I guess we could do like a variant Gore Magala, like do like a primordial Gore Magala that's based off the concept art. For those who haven't seen it, y'all should really look into the art books. The art books for Monster Hunter are fantastic. That's where you really get to see the art team shine. Not all the designs are able to make it into the game, and there's some fantastic designs that have been left on the cutting room floor. Monster Hunter. Okay, someone in the chat said that Monster Hunter used to be built for multiplayer. It still is. Like, I gotta tell you, it still is. And all the updates that have come out have been focused on multiplayer. You can play solo if you want. That's, I think, what's so wonderful about this game. But yeah, no, they are absolutely built for multiplayer. Especially the latest hunts that have come out, the really difficult ones. Like they're made for multiplayer. Funny because I played Monster Hunter for 2 years straight on solo before I ever went online. I typically play a lot offline unless I have friends. Like, I never play with randoms. That's something that I've seen some other people have similar sentiments where they tend to play the game mostly offline, and that will affect their understanding of the series, where they'll be like, you know, I played through all of Freedom Unite on my own, including all the way up to G rank, and it was really hard. It's like, okay, well, you played a game that was meant to be played with 3 other people, so of course it was very hard. But then if you do play with other people, the game's actually really easy. But yeah, typically I don't play with randoms because I just prefer to play with friends. And I can play on my own. Again, apologies for being so scatterbrained. I used to be a 4 Ultimate and Generations supremacist. Now I love all the games, even stories. I like that they're different. Yeah, I think it's fine to like a certain game, and I also think it's good to, you know, understand the series history and enjoy everything that the titles have to offer. The wife got me art books for the anniversary. They rock. Yeah, they're pretty great. I recommend it. Especially the first art book. The first art book is probably the most interesting of them all because it has so much stuff that was left on the cutting room floor. Like, they talk about how the gameplay was completely different. Like, they were very experimental in what they wanted to do. And what we ended up with Monster Hunter really feels like the original Monster Hunter from 2004 really feels like it's a bare bones version of their vision. I think that these modern titles are probably closer to what their vision was, but we can't say for certain, right? There's some stuff in there where they talk about like a monster tricking the player when they track them. Like, they'll leave like fake tracks, and you can't really do that in a video game. Like, it just doesn't really work. You don't have a wide enough range of space, and there's certain things you know they work well in concept, but when you try to execute them, they just don't really work. And so I'm sure there's a lot of ideas that just could never work in Monster Hunter, but it's neat to think about, though. What new monster concepts would you like to see in the DLC? Okay, I want to talk about this. Guys, I actually legitimately think... Okay, so I talked about this on Twitter. So we got, in the base game of Wilds, we got the Equal Dragon Weapon. To be, in a way, we got it canonized, which was Zoshia. But also, Arkveld is kind of also, in a way, like, I think that Equal Dragon Weapon was split into 2, and it was made into both Arkveld and Zoshia. They both kind of represented, like, the armor for Arkveld, the helmet, the male helmet is literally the Equal Dragon Weapon's head from the concept art. So it's like, yeah, I think that there was some thought there. and this game deals with the ancient civilization. So I believe that we're gonna get Wyvern Rex in the expansion. This is my insane idea. I think Wyvern Rex is coming. I don't think we're gonna get Tigrex. I really don't think we're gonna get Tigrex. But I think that Wyvern Rex might even be the flagship. I don't know. So that's my wild concept that I'd like to see in the expansion. Like some kind of like primordial like more dragon-like Tigrex that has a new moveset, you know, maybe it still has its wings, so it's like maybe it's a little bit closer to like Gore Magala in structure. Maybe it has that skeleton. I don't know. So that's my insane thought. I've got no proof to back up that will happen. But I think it would be cool to have like Wyvern Rex, like an extinct creature, fight Arkfeld, which is also another extinct creature that's been brought out of extinction. So it's not really it's a whole thing. The Roadrunner has an X-shaped footprint, so you can't tell which direction it went. That's true. That would be funny if you had a monster like that. Or if you had a game where you actually had to like pan the camera down and like look at the footsteps and be like, which way did it go? But they would not make a game like that. Not now. I think we're way past that at this point. It'd be a different game. There's a pack of Hirabami coming in a second here, so I might fight those. Concept art for Shagur Magala being an ambush hunter that disguises himself as the moon is such an insane concept. I gotta revisit that idea eventually. That'd be cool. What's your guess for a second map in Ascendance? I'd love a really foggy swamp with poison and stuff. A really vast mountain area to redeem the claustrophobic ice shard. So I've got like two thoughts. I think that they're either three thoughts really. I think they're either gonna do a revisit of the is that Gore Magala? Ooh. I think they're either gonna do a revisit of the tower. I think they will do the tower, or they'll do something similar to the Everwood, where it'll be, you know, kind of like a weird ancient forest with like ruins. Because you got to think like ruins. Like a big part of the aesthetic of this game has been maps with ruins. So maybe something like the Everwood, maybe the tower. What I'd want is, yeah, I would love a swamp. I want a foggy swamp. I want that so bad. A swamp is my absolute preferred map. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. It'd be cool if they did something like the Ancestral Steppe from Monster Hunter 4, where there's like the ruins, but it's got like that mountain range type look to it. Reminds me of like the Himalayas. That I would be really down for. Be really interested in that. Oh no, cheated gear. Where's the cheated gear? I'm running out of potions. My favorite part of the Monster Hunter World art book is where Xeno'jiiva armor is labeled Call of Teroth and Call of Teroth is Xeno'jiiva. Yeah. It makes me wonder, okay, so like, this is really neat, right? When I was looking into the monster numbers, so the monster ID numbers, I should say. I've talked about this before on stream, but each monster in Monster Hunter has like a set ID number associated with them in the code of the game. And that ID number is universal between all games. Like Rathian is ID number 1, Rathalos is ID number 2, and that's how it's always been. It's for programming's sake, they have to do it like that. Destosha is like ID number 150, for example. I think Anjanath is 100. Those are just a couple that I have memorized. But interestingly, Safi'jiiva comes before Xeno'jiiva in the ID list, which implies that they were working on Safi'jiiva before they were working on Xeno'jiiva to be in the game, or something. I don't know. I mean, we can speculate forever. It probably means nothing, actually. Or maybe they had always kind of like set that number aside for a concept. And I wonder if maybe at some point, either that is just a type, it's probably just a typo. Let's just assume it's a typo. But if it's not a typo, what if the slot for Safi Jiva was actually a slot for Call of Teroth, but they decided to make Call of its own monster? We don't know, right? We don't know. We have no idea. Do you miss when the old games basically had a split between solo and multiplayer, and to a degree nudging the player along towards teaming up with other players, other hunters? So I believe that genuinely one of the issues that people had with this game, which is like which affected it very early on, especially when streamers played this game, is they had this assumption that it would have been like Rise, where it would have been split offline and online, but the trailers really made it clear that they were going to focus on a story. Like they had a story they wanted to tell, and in all of the the pre-release press coverage, they always said like, yeah, we're focusing on story. This is a game where you got to focus on the story, and all the people who got the game early all said like, hey, they really focus on a story this time, so you don't play multiplayer until you go through the story. Which is fine. It's like, what? It's like 6 to 8 hours to go through the story. Like, no big deal. But to a lot of people, especially streamers, that was a big deal, because they just wanted to play online with their friends. They didn't want to go through a story. They wanted to chat with their chat and goof around with their friends and throw bombs at each other, right? Your bomb is so cool. So you had the split in Rise, and I do think that it probably was for the best to keep the split there. I think that, yeah, it was probably a good idea to have offline and online, like, I guess like the story mode and then like multiplayer be separate in some capacity, so that there are people who, as soon as they boot up the game, if they don't want to engage in the story, they can just play with their friends. Because, you know, a lot of the hype around this game is that you play with your friends, and I'm sure there are lots of people that are like, hey, I want to play with my friend, but I can't, because I gotta spend 8 hours in a game I've never played before, and partake in this story that I'm very lost in. And they could enjoy it, but maybe they won't. Again, I say all this with love, because I do love this game, I do love the story, I enjoyed it for what it was. I enjoyed the story a lot more than I did World's story. But, yeah, I think there is merit to splitting it up, and they should probably keep it split. They should recommend you... Whoa, that's Gormagala. I definitely could fight Gormagala, but I would have to really lock in for that. Because he is Rascal in this game. Oh my goodness. I'm a bit surprised we haven't a butterfly-inspired monster, and even in Frontier we didn't get that. Yeah, like that or a moth-inspired monster, or even like a dragonfly-inspired monster. There's a lot of routes they could go with, like, bug. I guess Astalos is sort of dragonfly-inspired. He's bug-inspired in general, but he's not like a true bug. We definitely need more, like, bug-inspired monsters. The reason I don't want it to be a butterfly is because I don't want it to look too frail and innocent. Like, I need monsters that feel like they're evil, you know? Or, like, not evil, but, like, they're dangerous. I like monsters that are dangerous. Like, these things are freaky looking. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't want to go near this thing. This is as long as, like, a bus. This is, like, bus-long flying serpent demon. Like, yeah, like, I'm scared if they did a big butterfly, it would kind of look cute, and then I wouldn't really want to hunt it. I feel that way towards, like, Gammoth. I don't like hunting Gammoth because she just seems, like, so innocent. You know what I mean? Oh man, don't mention that. I've been a Mothra fan for 35 years. Yeah, like, Mothra is not... she is always meant to be, like, the friendly one, right? Well, not, like, friendly, but, like, the one that, kind of helps people. I don't know. I'm not a big, like, kaiju head. I really don't know much about them. I love to see Celtis Queen return for Ascendance. So, I do too. And that is a monster I'm putting money down on that one. I think Celtis Queen and Celtis are coming to Ascendance. I think that's gonna be like the one it's gonna be okay, so in World, how most of the returning monsters in World were either like big Elder Dragons, the flagships, right? Like Tigrex, Nargacuga. We got Rajang, Brachydios. Like a lot of them were like heavy hitters, but the one that I would argue would be like a true Glup-Shido, maybe not a true Glup-Shido, but the closest thing to Glup-Shido was Barioth. Like Barioth was like the weird one in World where it's like, this is not a flagship, this is just a normal monster. And I think that Celtis Queen is going to be our Barioth. Like, it's going to be the Barioth of Wilds. We're going to get Celtis Queen alongside the new monsters in the new map. I think that they probably have one other monster to show us. Like, they've shown us the that, like, weird turquoise jet wyvern that hunts in a pack in the first trailer. And that's probably our Beatotus. And they have yet to show us, like, the Banbaro monster, which is probably going to be some kind of flying wyvern as well. Or maybe a bug. Who knows? But if we're in the sky, it's going to be a lot of monsters that have wings. With the exception of Celtis Queen, who... Celtis has wings. And Celtis Queen lived in the Heaven's Mount in Monster 4, so... You're putting money down too? Golbul and Narkarkos need to come back. Okay, I wouldn't put money down on those. Yes, they do need to come back. Golbul, I would say especially. But Golbul kind of needs to be underwater for him to work. I don't think Golbul works in any other context. I forgot, I totally can be using the focus attacks. Oh, that was the quest target. Whoops. I still gotta kill the other two. I was thinking of the Heaven's Mount when watching the trailer. I think we should be, like, expecting... It's probably gonna be, like, Zynogur. You could probably put money down on Zynogur. I mean, Zynogur is coming no matter what. Yeah, Zynogur. Shagger Megala for sure. And, yeah, probably Celtis and Celtis Queen. And then, yeah, a couple new monsters. But they said they're going to focus on Elder Dragons, so they're probably going to have a lot of returning Elder Dragons. See, I really like the 2nd gen and 1st gen Elder Dragons a lot. Like, I really like Lao Shen Lung, I love Kirin. Kirin's one of my absolute favorite monsters. I love Kashella, and I love Teostra. I really, really love those monsters in general. Oh, that killed them both. Nice. I really like all those monsters. I would like them all to come back for Ascendance, but I have a feeling that they won't all return. Like, there's, you know, a thought was passed my way. You know, what if they do bring back Kashella? Because Kashella, of course, he's already in it, but, you know, he's a flagship as well. Like, let's not forget, Kashella was a flagship. But what if they don't bring back, alongside of him, what if they don't bring back Teostra? And it got me thinking, what if they made they could easily do a new Fire Elder Dragon. You know, maybe they do something new that, like, lives in the oil well basin that's different from Teostra, but is still, like, represents that fire dragon type monster. And I could see them doing that, and that could actually become a new fan favorite. I love Teostra, and I never want Teostra to leave. Most people don't like Teostra. I don't know why. They don't like Teostra or Kashella. So, I could very easily see them kind of, like, replacing Teostra with something new. I don't want that, but they could easily do that, and we can kind of expect that they could do something like that. Similarly, they could also do that for, like, a new, like, Thunder Dragon and not have Kirin. That would make me very sad, though. Like, I definitely want Kieran in the next game. I think Kieran would be perfect in the Ice Shard Cliffs. I just hope they bring back his musical theme, because Kieran deserves his own musical theme. All I want is for there to be less flagship monsters and more small new monsters. Don't expect there to be any new small monsters. And going off of past history with the Monster Hunter titles, they tend to do mostly returners and variants for the expansions. The flagship and the final boss will always be new, so we're gonna get a new flagship and a new final boss. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of probably flagships and Elder Dragon returners. And that's just the reality. Like, that's just how this thing works. Like, if you're in the end game, right? Like, if you're in the end game of a game, you kind of want the monsters you're fighting in the end game to be end game monsters. Like, you can't be, like, adding Velocidrome into the expansion and being like, guys, title update, Great Jaggy. Like it's not gonna work. Orochi Kieran. Orochi Kieran would be great. I'd be okay if we only got Orochi Kieran. I'd be fine with that. I mean, I prefer regular Kieran, but any kind of representation of Kieran would be great. Here's a long comment. Personal opinion, Wilds is by far my favorite game in the series. With that in mind, I have to admit it would be perfect if it shared some more features with Monster 2 and 4. And more limited focus mode. So that's basically my opinion. Yeah, like, we have, like, the same opinion. Like, this game is my favorite. It would be perfect if it just had a bit more DNA from Monster 2 and 4. Which it already shares quite a bit, but not in the way that I think matters. It still has a lot of DNA of world, which is fine, I think, in this context. And there's nothing wrong with that. But in my preference, the other two titles I love the most are 4 and probably 2. 2 and 3. Okay, 2 Blind Gunga plus reading chat is a bad combo. What mod settings do you have? Your game looks so compact and pleasant to look at. So it's a mini-map mod, no scout flies, and then I have another one that turns off a bunch of stuff. If you notice, my quest timer is in the wrong corner of the screen. That's another mod. I think that one's like a HUD. It's like a HUD manipulator mod. Yeah, I have to mention that obviously, like, my opinion on Wilds is affected by the fact that I've modified the game. But if you play on PC, you can do that too, and I recommend it. This goes for every game. I think that sometimes the developers will do stuff with newer players in mind, and they don't offer the option to remove those things for older players. And then, you know, the fans go in and they make options like, hey, we probably don't need to have skill pop up all the time if you know what you're doing and you don't need to see it. You also probably don't need the scout flies if you've played these games enough, and the minimap kind of just tells you where the monster is anyway. So it'd be cool if that was just an option to toggle off. Capcom won't do it, but fans will. What do you think they're going to do with Zoshia and Master Rank? They could do a variant. I'm kind of half expecting there to be a variant similar to Xeno'jiiva and Safi'jiiva. I don't think it'll be like a big siege like Safi'jiiva, but they'll probably do some kind of variant. They could do like a true equal dragon weapon that's closer to the concept art, but that I doubt. If anything, it'll probably just be like, I don't know, they'll call it like augmented Zoshia or something, and it'll just be stronger, and it'll be like red instead of white or something, I don't know. Maybe they'll make it blue. Maybe they'll make it green! Green Zoshia. That'd be a terrible name. Jade Zoshia. Not very good. They would have to call it something like yeah, augmented Zoshia or something silly like that. HUD controller. Yes, that is the mod. Yeah, people know their stuff. I've set all this stuff up months ago. I don't remember all of it. And then obviously the Kirin armor is modded in. It's yeah. But don't focus on my gameplay, please. Just focus on what I'm talking about. This is very sloppy gameplay. That's why I'm fighting like Blangungas over and over again. Maybe I should go to a different map. I'm just fighting like the Ice Shard Cliff monsters. Yeah, Shagru Magala is like a absolutely for sure is going to be in the game. I don't know about Chaotic Gore though. I don't think Chaotic Gore is going to make it in. But Shagru for sure. Shagru is absolutely going to be in the game. If you're worried about having mods, for one, back up your save. Definitely don't get any mods that like affect your equipment stats or your save file. Like only do cosmetic stuff and you're probably fine. Like the people that lose their save file are people that are like modding to give themselves like broken equipment that doesn't exist. Or people that are like, you know, finding ways around like purchasing the DLC. Those are the people that are losing their save files. If you're if all you're doing is like cosmetic stuff, you won't lose your save file if you do any mods. And then obviously back up your save. It's like a #1 rule. Most mod authors update their mod within like the first week because truthfully they prefer to play the game with the mod, and so if the update comes out, they're probably going to be like, oh, the update came out, I should probably update the mod so that my game, my experience is preferred the way I want it. Crazy how much people know about Orochi Kirin when he hasn't ever returned since Monster Hunter 4U. You know what's crazy too? I think people forget how bad of a fight that was. It was pretty rough. Like people glaze it and they're like, "Oh, it's like a cooler Kirin." No, Orochi was like a worse Kirin. Especially if you fight them both at the same time. There's an event quest for that. Really bad. Like not fun at all, especially solo. Multiplayer it's manageable, but it's rough. Especially if you have like a bad weapon matchup for that. Like I could not imagine doing like Charge Blade against that. Like that seems like just total hell. Or Lance? I don't know. I could see like Greatsword maybe working against the two of them, but yeah, rough. Orochi Kirin is kind of just Kirin with more like nonsense. When has Kirin ever been fun? Hey man. I have exotic taste. Empyrean Zoshia is a name I thought of recently. Really grew to the like of it, leaning into the angelic and heavenly theme. Empyrean Zoshia. I could see that. There we go. I should probably change maps so you guys aren't just seeing the Ice Shard Cliffs this entire time. I wasn't planning on doing anything crazy. I was literally just going to hunt the same whatever monsters as I just chat with y'all. I'll chat until, like, I'm tired, I guess. I think the only reported bans have been from people cheating in unreleased DLC or contest pendants. Yeah, like, don't do that stuff, and then you're fine. Like, when you... Yeah, like... Just be careful. Lance could just guard spam, so that wouldn't be the worst, but Greatsword would be miserable. Maybe. I've been playing 4U with some friends, and I did a Roshi village quest with Greatsword, and it was pretty ass. Fans have been using equipment from event quests that are unreleased. Crazy weapon damage, time, and special arena. Easy mods to give yourself character added vouchers. Yeah, don't do that stuff. Most unbearable event quest ever is the quest in 3 Ultimate with Kirpeko and Crimson Kirpeko. I think I remember that one. It wasn't that bad. Remember custom quests in 4U? Actually, I've been making some custom quests in 4U just for myself and my friends. There's a Gore Magala. It's only 6-star, but I know the moment, because I'm playing the game, I'm gonna faint to him. Because I'll look at the chat, and then I look up, and I'm dead. I know that's gonna happen. I'm not that good at this game. I may be like almost HR 600. I'm really not that good at this game. Time to lock in. I really like Gore Magala in this game. He's so cool. This is probably his, like, next to 4's. Like, such a great appearance. I love his moveset. It's so wild and aggressive. I'm kind of scared for Shagger Magala in the expansion, because I have a feeling that he's gonna, like, really rock. Whoa! Damn! That was crazy. I think I've had that happen before, but it's been a while, so I wasn't expecting to fall down. That was cool. I got some good damage on him. I'd like Wilds considerably more if the early game monsters weren't so easy. And again, like to that I say I'm pretty sure that's every Monster Hunter game released after like 2009. Like every Monster Hunter game has had, you know, early to mid game monsters that are just way too easy. Forgot that move doesn't like hurt you like it does in 4 Ultimate. Like a standard charge in 4 Ultimate will just knock you over. In this game, he can just like walk right, like his legs can just walk right past you because the hitboxes are so precise in this game and not just like his entire body. Yeah. Notice the, yeah, like already I'm just like, oh. Jump, the jump in difficulty, even on a 6-star, it's crazy. No, I think I'm managing. I'm fine. It's not that bad. What's your favorite fight in Wilds? My favorite fight in Wilds is probably Lagiacrus. But I also, yeah, I also really like Gore Magala. Because he's tough, like he's hard. He's a fight that I actually struggle with. Sregios is another one I struggle with, but like not in a way I like. I don't really like the Sregios fight, but also I don't think I've ever really liked Sregios' fight. I think the monster design is neat, it's cool, but I've never been in love with Sregios. Yeah, I have a feeling that Kashella is gonna really like kick our ass in the expansion. Hopefully redeem him, and so that people don't shit on Kashella Diora. Like, I really need that to stop. Like, I want him to be as cool as he was in Monster Hunter 2. So when people see him and they're like, oh my goodness, Kashella is so cool. Like, can we go back to that? Like, I don't know. No. Oh, no. See, it's like, oh my goodness, he's so crazy. He's not this crazy in 4 Ultimate, or 4. But yeah, replaying 4, it's, yeah, I've really noticed how easy that game is. Like, a lot of nostalgia glasses moments where I was like, oh yeah, like, Black Gravios in 4 Ultimate was so hard. And then I go and I fight it and I'm like, this isn't hard at all. It's so easy, especially with a group. And like Samtrio, Celtis Queen, they all go down so fast. Health pools in that game are very small. It's all just about knowing, knowing the battle, and when you've hunted hundreds of these monsters, they're so fast, they're so easy. Isn't Chaotic Gore an aberration outside of the norm? Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry, what was the conversation here? Chaotic probably wouldn't make it to a title update. Probably would make it to a title update. I fear I don't feel like they would do what just happened in Rise, you know? Like I don't feel like they would repeat what happened in Rise, where it was all the title update monsters were mostly variants, and in that case it was like silver and gold plus Chaotic Gore. Like, I don't know. Because I expect them to do silver and gold again in the expansion, but I don't know if I expect them to do Chaotic Gore. I see them doing Rusted Kashella. That's definitely going to happen. That's probably going to be a title update. It'll be Rusted Kashella. And I know for, like, there's no way they won't add Nergigante, but I'm scared that they're going to make Nergigante a title update. And I don't want Nergigante to be a title update. I want him to be in the base game, but because I'd like if all of the title update monsters are like real big showstoppers, you know? I want them to be monsters that like really knock the house down. Like, we need things like, unironically, like Dalamadur and Yamasukami, like stuff that like will create memories. And I have a feeling that's what they're gonna do. Yeah, okay, this Gore was not that bad at all. I overestimated how difficult even a 6-star is. He's not that bad. It could be because I'm using like Gogmazio's equipment. Because I am. Like, my defense is pretty high. My stats are, you know, this is an endgame set. As they expand the Ice Shard Cliffs. Yeah, I really like the Ice Shard Cliffs, and I want to like it more, but it's definitely... It needs, like, a big open field. It doesn't have that. And a lot of the structures aren't, in my opinion, they aren't clear enough that it's ruins, because they're mostly covered in, like, big ice sculptures. So a lot of it feels like you're just in an ice cave rather than in a ruin. But that's just a personal thought. I'm sure there's other people that have thought that it's just fine. Like, when you really look around, you're like, okay, that's like an arch and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Looking at it, when I was first here, I didn't even really tell that I was in ruins. I just thought I was in, like, a bunch of ice caves. Oh my goodness. It's so crazy. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that they're gonna do Dalamadur. I think it's time for Dalamadur to come back. I don't think that we'll get a Latreon or Fatalis again. Not even like White Fatalis, I don't think that's happening. Oh my goodness gracious. He's got me cornered here. Come on. Dude, I missed? I think every single map deserves some expansion. If they didn't do a second map, if it was only that one new map, I would be down for them to just make the maps that already exist, the 5 that are already in this game, if they just made them bigger. They really should just make them bigger. The Sacred makes you go really fast, and I think that, yeah, we could just make the maps bigger. Ooh, sneak attack on him. Is he killing a Hirabami? Like this is way too cramped for Gore. Like I'm gonna be real. Like this map, we need something smaller. So I think Kieran would work really well here. Prancing around in here is not too big. The Gore is really big for this map. Oh, shoot, that is gonna kill me. You know, I'm okay. I'm okay. Let's explore deeper into the oil well. Yeah. I just want to say the Monster community is the best community. You all rock. That's a good thing to hear. It's a good thing to hear, and I'm glad to hear that when that does get said. I think it is easy to get jaded. There are times where I feel like man, the online communities in general, not the Monster community, because generally the Monster community is pretty great. Online communities in general, they are getting pretty rough, and I sometimes have a lot of trouble being online where I'm just like, ooh, guys, like, maybe think before you talk. There's a lot of that. Okay, what's a map I like? I like the Windward Plains. There's some Balahara. Yeah. Let's just go here. I'll change my equipment. How would you feel if Magnum Aloe was an Ascendance? So I've answered this question before. I don't know if it was on stream. Probably not. I think it was probably in like my Patreon chat or something. But my thought on Magnum Aloe in Ascendance is that I'd probably be okay with it, because I think the mainline team having a whack at making Magnum Aloe would probably be very good. Like they would probably do some crazy stuff to Magnum Aloe to, I think, make him into something that I would probably like more. Because I'm not really sold on Magnum Aloe, and I've talked about that before. I don't really need to get into that. I'm not like the biggest Magnum Aloe fan ever. I don't think I really ever have been. I'm not a big Magnum Aloe guy. I've never really enjoyed the fight. But I think a mainline team Magnum Aloe would probably be more up my alley, and the same thing goes for like really any of the portable monsters. Okay, let's go fight some Balahara. Oh, I should have gotten onto the horse bird before calling it. I mean, before jumping off. Like a bit more grounded? No, not necessarily grounded, just giving it that, like, you know, mainline spice, you know? Like what they did to Mizitsune. Not to say that the original Mizitsune wasn't any good. I love Mizitsune, all forms of it, but what are you doing? Are you just vomiting? Dude, this game is awesome. This is a vibrant map that's in the corner. Yeah, it'd be cool if this the mod would like change the color grading of the mini map, because it is very bright, but it is nighttime and it is like dusty and like sandy right now. So I promise, this map is beautiful at certain times of the year. It makes you appreciate it more when you see it. Oh, mount? Yay! Give it more of a touch-up? Yeah, give it more of a touch-up. I think Magnum Aloe with some touch-ups. Give it a bit more finesse, a little bit more. I think he could be great. But I think that really applies to every monster. Every monster with touch-ups is probably going to be better. Ooh, that was cool. Again, apologies. I'm mostly gonna be fighting the Glup Shido monsters. It's better for reading chat. Will you make instructions for the Morans? You already know the answer to that. You're saying that as a joke. The answer is no. I will not do Lego models for, like, any of the giant monsters. With some exceptions. I want to do something for Dalamadur. I do want to do something for Dalamadur. I don't think it'd be the whole monster, but maybe just, like, the torso up. And just make it, like, a really, really big bust. But all my Lego models are meant to be... They're all meant to be in scale with one another, relatively. And so you get something like Jen Moran. Jen Moran is huge. Like, it's way bigger than I think people realize. The 3DS screen kind of makes them look a little bit small. But you did GOG and Old Fatalis. Okay, again, the size difference between even Gogmazios and Jen Moran it's completely different. Completely different. Gogmazios is probably my limit. I should mention that Gogmazios is probably my limit. I'm gonna try and do Lao Shen Lung, who is technically a little bit bigger than Gogmazios. They're about the same length, but I think Gogmazios is just a little bit shorter in length. But Lao Shen Lung would be bigger. That might be my limit. I'm not sure. I'm gonna kill this guy too. Hold that down. I get a lot of requests for Guys Magorn, and I have to be that guy. I have to bring the bad news. I'm not gonna build Guys Magorn. That's just not happening. Yeah, it's just not happening. Gogmazios was too much. It was actually too much. It was like a massive mental strain on me to get that done. And the it really pushed my limits and the limits of, like, Lego building to a point where, like, it's not supposed to go that far. We're not supposed to make models that big with those plastic little blocks for children. Like, it's you're not supposed to do that. Not like a big posable creature with all the detail that it has. There's a limit. If it was like standard, like, blocks on top of each other, like if I was making like a building, yeah, you could do something like that, but like a big figure with like a posable neck and like all these like weird shaped curves on it and stuff, it's very difficult to pull off at that scale and have it be structurally sound and be something that is easy for people to build. Like, a lot of the time went into just making sure that it was feasible to build. The instructions were, like, you know, they were organized in a way that made sense. It's a miracle that I was able to make that, and only, like, I think there was only, like, 3 errors in the instructions, and it was mostly just, like, in one step or two, it was a little bit difficult to see where the piece went, and then I fixed that, so it should be much easier to, it is easy. It's as easy as it could possibly be. I put a lot of time and effort into these models. So, yeah, I have people talk about it because I'm here, right? Like, it would be cool to see Darren Moran in this location because we got all these big, wide open fields. You know, we could have, like, a special quest where we're over there. And I could see it. I could see one of the Morans happening. I feel like Jen Moran would be the more nostalgic one, but obviously Darren Moran is more fitting for the Monster Hunter 4, I guess, isms that this game is kind of leaning into. They also could do a new Moran. But that's the kind of monster that I almost expect them to do for a title update for Wilds. Because they need to do big, heavy-hitting, like, multiplayer-focused siege fights to keep the players, like, really hyped and engaged. I think that's what's best for title updates for Monster Hunter. That's not what I necessarily want. Like, I'm not necessarily asking for a Gem Moran. I'd probably be completely content if they just, like, I don't know, added, like, a bunch of Glove Shidos. Like, the crabs, or, you know, things like Kieran. But I know what's for the best for the game, and what's for the best for the game is, yeah, really big, impactful fights that leave a lasting impact on people, are fun multiplayer things, you know. Difficult because they're big fights and they're endgame fights. And... I'm fighting a tempered monster. Oh, it's fine if it's because it's I mean yeah, it's just a Glove Shido. I want Guanzorumu. I know that monster, I just don't know how to pronounce its name. It's the one from Frontier. That would be a sick fight for Wilds. Absolutely. It's definitely not happening, but we could dream. We could dream. That would be killer. Absolutely. Are Lego monsters also designed to be played with, or just for display? Yeah, no, they're designed for play. Obviously, like the bigger models should not be. You can't play with Gogmazios. But what I've noticed is a lot of people who are into tabletop gaming, tabletop roleplay, tabletop gaming, will build my models and they will use them as like endgame or like siege fights for their tabletop players. Like a dungeon master in D&D will be like, I'm gonna build, say, your Elatrion, and then they have a cool model, but then they're able to use it in their D&D setting. Though my smaller models you can absolutely play with them. I have this like testing process, and it's the reason why like I'll show off a model and then I don't release instructions for like 2 months. It's because I have to let it sit on a shelf, and I also have my partner. I have her like play with it. Like I'll have her like, you know, pick it up and move it around, and then whatever breaks off, I'm like, okay, I should probably try to make that sturdier. It doesn't always work out, and almost all of my models will have like something on it that's a little bit like fragile, and it's usually the face, because the face is like the most important part of a build in order to make it like that's where your eyes go when you're working on anything. This includes like Monster Hunter monsters. I'm sure the devs know this, the design team, but this goes for all form of creative design. If you're creating a creature of some kind, the face is where your eyes will go first, because eyes naturally go to eyes. You naturally look at people's eyes. Oh, is it changing time of day? Nice. And so I designed the face first, and often in order to make that face look as accurate as possible, I'll cut corners on stability on the face just to make sure it looks perfect. But then the rest of the body, all the limbs, I try to make them as sturdy as possible so that you can play with it the best you can. How would you feel about the mainline team have a crack at Narwa and Ibushi in Ascendance? They fit like the new area. Like I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening at all. Just because, like, they were the final boss of the previous game. Like, just like how we will not see Safi Jiva in this game, we're not going to see Sharish Valda in this game. We'll see like final bosses from older games. Like I could see Dalamadur being in this. We've already seen Gogmazios, but no, we're not going to see the recent ones. I think it could be cool, definitely. Let's kill that Quimitrace. I'll switch to longsword. I like Ruko Diora if it's likely in... Okay, so yeah, if we're going to talk about, like, realistic Frontier reps, Ruko Diora. Absolutely Ruko Diora. Ruko Diora... I think Ruko Diora cameoed in an anime. I don't know what anime it was, but I remember hearing about that. That is a popular Frontier representative. And Ruko Diora, I think, would be perfect for Wilds. That is one I could see them doing, like, a big, even like a title update, big deal event for. That'd be killer, actually. Less likely. I think we're more likely, unironically, we're more likely to see Yamazukami than we are Ruko Diora. But I would not be against it, for sure. I'm using Charge Blade and Longsword because they are the weapons I am the most comfortable with. I guess I could use dual blades. Yeah, let's use dual blades, just for like one hunt against this Clematrace. See a lot of comments about Yamasukami. I also think Shantian is still more likely than Ruko Diora, even though Shantian is crazier. Maybe I could see Shantian being pretty high up there. Very much fits in the Skybound. I thought you were going to release a video of LEGO Arcvale because on Google it doesn't let me go in an overview of the instructions and it costs money. No, the Arcvale instructions are completely free. You don't have to pay anything for them. You just have to join as a free member, and then you can download the instructions for Arcvale. Nice old gen style map on the bottom left. Yeah, that's a mod. It's a nice one. I like it. It works really well, and it's actually it's made me understand the map better. So, unironically, I think that the new map system that they had going makes things more complicated than they need to be. This old style map is more than enough, and you see everything very quickly at a glance. You can see what monsters are on the map, what camps you have. Oh, I guess I should mention this. You notice the amount of camps I have? That's another mod. I think I have like a mod where it gives me more camps than you're normally permitted in the game, and that's just because, I don't know, for convenience. It feels like something that they should just do in the game anyway. The caveat to that mod, though, what was unfortunate, is the mod doesn't have an option for this. It kind of just comes together as like a package. You get more camps, but also they just like kind of don't break. And that I'm like, no, the whole point is that the camps are supposed to break. And the monster's supposed to come by and break them. So like, don't do that. But so maybe I should just uninstall it, because I feel like it affects the point of the game in a way where I'm like, maybe it's too much. You know, it affects the artistic merit in a way where I'm like, well, maybe I'm not even playing Wilds anymore. And I gotta thread the needle on that. This stuff matters to me. I don't know. I'm weird. I say that and I'm wearing Kieran on me. I hate that you can adjust the map because it just makes things 5 more times complicated. Have all you guys seen the Dragon Prince? So I actually have no idea what that is. I'm pretty sheltered. No, I'm not sheltered. Ignorant to a lot of things, especially like newer media. I'm so focused on like either Monster Hunter or when I'm not working on Monster Hunter or hanging out with like my friends and family, I'm working on my visual novel. So like I don't have a lot of time to watch things or play other games. so good. It has awesome design of Monster Hunter and even a love story. Okay. Maybe I'll look into it. Pretty good show? Okay. Is it animated? Yeah, I think. You think, but you said it's a good show. I'm assuming it probably is. I don't get why they removed monsters going out of their way to destroy the camps. Yeah, that's... I just remembered. You're bringing it back up. They totally did update that out. They made it so that you can't... You can't... Like, they don't even really attack the camps anymore, which is a shame. I guess I can kill another Balahara since another one spawned. Frontier Dual Blades will never come, but it would be funny crazy if it actually came. Like, they added in, like, the move set from Frontier. I saw people comparing the new moves that we're getting in Ascendance with the moves that we will be... that, were previously seen in, like, Rise, and Generations Ultimate. Even, like, I noticed that one, like, the new Charge Blade move you do when you do the focus, the special focus mode attack, it's technically, it's an attack from, Generations Ultimate. See, that's cool. That is cool. I like how the Balahara is hiding. You have to use your environment to get him out. That's really neat. That's what I really like. I like when stuff like that happens in Monster Hunter. It's very, very neat. Very cool. Like, this is part of my argument where I believe that we don't necessarily need to be able to track monsters. They should just... The monsters should just have, like, stronger hiding spots. Or they should use their environment to their advantage, and you should be trying to get them out of the spot that they spawn in order to have an easier time. Like, I would really like if, especially in this new map, if they make, like, they add in any new, like, flying wyverns, like the new ones that are already there. It'd be cool, like, oh, if you track the flying wyvern to its nest, there's a ton of them. But if you fight it outside of the nest, then, you know, they're split up from the group. That's the kind of stuff I like. Speaking of, this was another crazy prediction I have. Alright, so we're probably going to get at least one new Guardian monster. That's my thought. We're going to get at least one new Guardian monster. Hopefully not more than, like, 2. I don't feel like we need more than 2. But the Guardian monsters so far have been 5th gen monsters that have been turned into Guardians, with the exception of Rathalos and Deshaguma. But, yeah, it's Odogaron and Anjanath. So I got myself thinking, you know, this new map has Guardians in it, that's been confirmed, and it's in the sky. I think we're getting Guardian Legiana. I think Guardian Legiana is happening. I'm betting money on that. Because, Legiana, I don't think Legiana is as popular as Odogaron or Anjanath. I think Anjanath and Odogaron are definitely more... Oh, he's angry, so that doesn't work. Definitely more popular. But I could totally see them doing a Guardian Legiana. They bring back Monoblos. What would they do with him? Okay, so that's a good conversation to talk about. So frankly, I'm in the camp that they won't do Monoblos. I don't believe they're gonna do Monoblos. And it's just because I don't feel like this desert map works for Monoblos as well as it does for the other flying wyverns that are already on this map. Because Monoblos' main attack is that he charges at you, and I just don't believe that this terrain is ideal for that. They could change it so that he was doing more of like digging animations, perhaps. I could see them doing that. More of his attacks are digging focused. Or they could go crazy and make Monoblos fly, like in his attacks, do lots of flying attacks. Which I don't know if that's really in character for him. If this map was a little bit more flat, I could see them for sure doing Monoblos. As it stands, I don't know. I don't have my money on Monoblos. I don't know if that one's happening. That feels more like a Portable 6 monster. But I mean, I'm ready to be proven wrong. I love Monoblos. I love Monoblos more than Diablos, so I'd love if Monoblos came back. I just don't see it. The Boost Bracer is going to be a moveset change. It could be, and if it is just a moveset change, and if the moveset change is just, as long as like the attack values isn't like significantly better, I could probably go without using it, because I'm very happy with how, I like how Charge Blade feels in this game a lot, as is. It's like, it's good. You don't need to change it. It's already good. But I know how Capcom works, and they like their action games, they like their fighting games, and they treat these games like their action games and their fighting games, and of course they're going to add new attacks. And of course those new attacks are going to be probably better than the ones that are already in the game. They're the ones that they want the player to use. How is everyone's day going? It's been alright. I got some like personal stuff, but no need to bring that up on the stream. But otherwise, it's good to stream. I stopped streaming so much because I felt redundant about it, part of it, and I also just really got like tired of the conversations, with the discussions, especially around the time Wilds was coming out, because there was just a lot of, obviously like a lot of negativity around just like the whole community, right? Because there was already a lot of negativity regarding can I pull this one down? No, right? Yeah, I don't think I can. Can I do this? That does not work, no, because I think he was angry. There was already a lot of negativity regarding Rise, and a lot of my audience was like Rise haters. And that was my mistake. I accidentally created an audience of Rise haters. And then obviously there was a lot of concern about Wilds. Like both a lot of people from the World crowd and a lot of people from the Rise crowd were like, this is not a sequel to my game. This feels like something totally different. And I'm like, yeah, it is something totally different. And they're like, well, we don't want that. And it's like, well, that's not really how this thing works. And so I just didn't really want to be part of that conversation, but I think things have mellowed out a little bit, right? So I'm a little bit more comfortable talking about this stuff. I don't want to have to repeat the exact same conversations over and over again, you know? I think he's underground again, the Balahara, so I need another Screamer Pod. There is Sergios on this map. I talked about it previously. I'm not going to fight him. I'm so bad at Sergios in this game. And I'm... like, I have to fight a couple more Sergios because I think I'm almost... So what I've been doing in this game is I've been... I'll show my numbers after. I've been trying to hunt 50 of every monster. And I've hunted 50 of most monsters. Sergios is the one where I think I'm still like, I think I'm at like 45 or something. But I have not hunted all 50 yet. If you hunt 50 of each monster, you unlock titles for your guild card. I guess it's called the Hunter Profile now. But, yeah. So I wanted to make sure in this game I at least hunted 50 of every monster. Oh, that was cool! That was really cool. Are you reacting to Shell in this image trailer? I was so happy. I'm sorry, guys. I was so happy to see Kashella. I love Kashella so much. I think it's because I view him as the flagship of Monster Hunter 2, and like that opening cutscene where he has so much sauce, so much aura. You know, he's just standing there, and he like the rain is getting more intense, and he's just like, I don't give a shit. He's just like looking at the hunter, like, don't come near me. I'm gonna use my wind pressure on you. So cool. And if they could somehow like have him in Wildspeed have just as much aura as that, which is probably unlikely. He's probably not gonna have the aura. I thought that would. I don't know why I thought that would work. Thought I could like get the jump on him, but what a waste of a screamer pod. If they somehow give Kashella like all that aura back, I think they could redeem him and he could become a new fan favorite. Or like a return of an old fan favorite. I feel like the boost brace might be like Valor mode, where you need to charge and it lasts X amount of time, but you need to get to choose when to activate it. Potentially, I could see that. Again, like I don't want it to be like Valor mode, where it's like there's no reason not to run it, because you might as well use the most effective means of attack, because it's probably going to be more effective than everything else. That's what I'm worried about. Okay, let's go to a different map. There's a Mizits in it. Ooh, let's go here. There's some old first-gen monsters. I was neutral on Kashella until I hunted Risen Kashella, and now he's in my top 10. Hope they borrow moves from that version. Oh, from Risen Kashella? I barely remember the Risen fights at all. I don't remember them at all. Like, they... Probably because I just didn't hunt the Risen forms enough, but I remember them just being... my thoughts were basically just like, what are we doing here? But, I don't know, I'm weird like that, right? Like, I like the... when the monster is just, like, normal and it's not, like, super death kill version of the monster. It's just, like, give the normal monster more aura, please. You don't need to give it a new surname in order to give it more aura, you know? But... yeah. Let's do dragon. Let's do a dragon weapon here. There's a login bonus. I thought I already got it. I think there's another one because I probably went over the threshold. My impression from the dev talk is that it's going to be a Devil Trigger-esque mechanic, which is interesting. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. I think I see where you're coming from with that. Rusted Kashella is guaranteed. Oh, I think so too. I'm betting money on Rusted. Rusted is absolutely happening. So I'll show you here. I'm pretty sure this is probably like no big deal to speedrunners, because speedrunners will have like hunted 999 of every monster. But yeah, like I try to hunt at least 50 of every monster. Jindahad, no, but so I'm pretty sure Regius I'm at 43, but. And then GOG, I've only hunted 6. I had a lot of failed attempts with my friends, especially when we were first running it. A lot of my friends just did not have good defense, and they just kept fainting, and I was like, alright, like, okay. There's 2 Rathian. So let's hunt these Rathian. I love Rathian. What's your favorite Monster Hunter theme lineup? Theme? Like battle music, or like what do you mean by theme? I need clarification. I want to answer this with my full passion. Come on, give me a sneak attack. I bet you only have 1 Guardian Archbelt. Is it only 1? It might be 2. I know I have at least 2 well, it was 2 Zoshias before they added in the multiple... the ability to refight Zoshia. I probably only do have one, but it might be two. But there's no extra unlockables. I would have fought 50 Guardian Archfelds if there was more unlockables for it, but there's just the one. You only need to fight the one. Oh! I did not bring antidotes. I've noticed that earlier. But now it's going to be a problem because Rathian actually uses poison. You actually need antidotes. Literally any theme, like however you want to structure it, depends on what themes you're most passionate about. Okay, well, I guess I'll start here then, because Rathian, I'm fighting Rathian. Probably my all-time favorite, like, battle music from Monster Hunter is the Rathian theme from Monster Hunter 1. Oh, Rathalos is here. Oh, okay. We got a whole family dinner here going on, and I'm the dessert, or... what am I saying? So yeah, I love the Rathian theme from Monster Hunter 1. That's the old jungle battle music. That's my all-time favorite, like, Monster Hunter battle song. My favorite, like Monster Hunter main theme is probably the Monster Hunter 2 main theme, but I also really like the Wilds main theme a lot. Try is also really great, like, To One With Life. And 4. They're all pretty good. Favorite is... No, it's probably To One With Life. Yeah, it's probably the Monster Hunter 3 one. It's probably my favorite. My favorite, like, Elder Dragon theme, I'm just thinking broadly, like, what are my favorite songs? My favorite Elder Dragon theme is probably White Fatalis. That one's very good. I'm worried that if they ever remake White Fatalis, they will butcher the theme. Not butcher it, but, like, the remaster won't have the sauce, you know? It'll sound good, it'll be professionally mixed, obviously, but it probably won't have, like, the aura that the original White Fatalis theme had. I also really like Cedius, but that's like, everyone loves the Cedius theme. The Cedius theme is, like, that's, like, that deserves, like awards, dude. It's so good. My favorite, like, village theme would probably be Poke Village. Kind of old-fashioned and simple. Yeah. I think that kind of covers, like, the big things. That's kind of like a list of my favorite. I'm gonna die from poison. I really wish Rathian and Rathalos had a bond move like Lunastra and Teostra, or kept the mechanic from World where one would call the other at any moment. I can't believe I just fainted to a Rathian. This is what I'm telling you guys. Like, I'm already pretty bad at the game, but I get sloppier if I'm streaming. It's just embarrassing. If Rathian and Rathalos had some kind of, like, bond attack, that'd be very cool. At the same time, I think it's neat that Teostra and Lunastra had one. Oh my goodness. I gotta do something about this. There's 4! There's 2 Rathaloses! No! Oh, this is awesome. See, this can't happen in any other game, and it's like one of those things where I'm like, yeah, this is why I love this game. Like, this is stupid. This is so stupid. Like, what is happening? I need dung bombs. What is this? Oh, it's so great. Yeah, you're gonna roar? How did this happen? We're smarter than this. Come on. I prefer if gold and silver had a bond attack. Yeah, I think that's where I was kind of leading that conversation there. Where, like, I'm glad that Lunastra and Teostra have one. I think they should save it for... Oh, goodness gracious. I don't have any dung bombs on me. I could go to the camp that's like right there, but they'll probably destroy the camp. Oh, this is miserable. Which one am I even fighting? Oh, I can tell. I can tell. It's the non-tempered one. It's this one. Bro took on Gore, then failed to a level 1 goon. Yeah, exactly. Okay, technically, I was saved by my cat. I did technically faint once against Gore, but my cat gave me the perk. Hope we get a swamp for the second map. Yeah, no, I agree. I want a swamp, but I don't see it. They're probably gonna do the tower or I don't know, something unique that they haven't done before. This is madness. Okay. Let's get out of here. I think the Rathian I'm targeting is almost dead. Yes, it is. Okay. I gotta climb back up. Can I climb up? That's not a thing to climb up. I think I can climb up over here. So I'm gonna do that. They did a tower, though. Well, no. I mean, like, they'll either do the tower or they'll do something unique. So. And the tower won't be the full tower. It's only going to be, like, the top of the tower or something. Like, they won't do a whole map where you go up the entire tower, because the tower would be so tall. Unless they had, like, an elevator or something that separates the top and the bottom half. Ancient Wyveria elevator attack. Well, that kind of stuff was in the Frontier like tower, the Sky Corridor. Wasn't there like elevators in Sky Corridor, or am I just misremembering? I know there was like a dungeon puzzle system or something. Why did they all come back, dude? What is this? This is what Monster Hunter looked like in my dreams when I was a child. And I was like, oh, I can't, get me out of here. No, come on. Yeah, just walk on me. The Sacred just like walks on my hunter, dude. I took such a long break from Wilds, and I started playing last month after not playing since December. I mean, that's fair. People, you know, you have a life and you play other games. Other Monster Hunter games, too. I've been playing 4 a lot recently. Okay. Yeah, I know, I'm mounting my Secret. Is this the... I don't think this is the fastest way over there. I'm kind of just doing what the Sacred's telling me here. Yeah, that is not the fastest way to go. I'm gonna go this way. Harder than Proof of a Hero, yeah. Come on. It's gonna be like this if Celtis Queen comes to Wilds. You're gonna have like 4 Celtises on top of 1 Queen. And she's gonna like throw the different Celtises at you. If I fail this quest, I'm so sorry. That is a major bruh moment. I had the opportunity to grab Dung Bombs and I just didn't. Okay, I need this Rathian to die. Please die. Please. Brachydios has 0 chance of being in the tower. I weep. Brachydios has 0 chance of probably being in wilds, and I also weep. Because Brachydios is like probably in my top 20. Okay, dude, let me carve the Rathian. Do you? Okay, you have a death wish. Yeah, no, I think we have reason to predict that Celtis Queen is gonna be in Ascendance. The new map is like perfect for her, and I don't know. They brought back Ursula. I don't know. It feels right. It feels like a monster that would be good for G rank. Like it doesn't feel like a total glup shitta. But I don't feel like they'll make us fight regular Celtis early. I think we'll only fight regular Celtis when like when we fight Queen Celtis. Oh, now they leave. Oh, and I got a ruby for that. Not that I need a ton of them. I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter 4, so when I get like a ruby, I'm like, oh, I got one. But in this game, like you get them all the time. Like it's no big deal at all. Okay, no, I will say Brachydios I think could fit in this map. I think Brachydios could absolutely fit in the oil well. That I don't think is unlikely, but the truth is I just don't think they're going to bring back Brachydios. They've made it apparent that the monsters that they wish to bring back seem to be ones that weren't in the last 2 games. They're trying to focus on ones they haven't been brought back yet. Obviously, Elder Dragons and flagships don't count. And if the monster was in Rise but wasn't in World, I mean, then I think it also counts towards their priority list. Which is why Mizutsune, Gormagala, and Regios are in this game, despite just being... I'm chopped, dude. I'm chopped. What about Ignactor? See, again, that's another one where it's like similar to Monoblos, where, yeah, like 1000%, please, please bring back Ignactor, but I don't know. The trajectory looks like Elder Dragons. The trajectory looks like the new map. And if you look at Iceborne, what is the one Glup Shido they brought back? Barioth, and that's it. Like that's it. So I think we're only getting one, and it's probably going to be Celtis Queen. Just being real. Not even being a hater, I'm just being realistic. We need an event quest with 2 Celtis Queens and 4 Celtis. That'd be nuts. That doesn't need to be an event quest. That's just gonna be like a normal day on the map. No, I think it's gonna be treated like the Alpha Deshagama quest. So there'll be 4 Celtis and then 1 Celtis Queen. I think that's gonna be like the normal setup. It's gonna be chaos. But yeah, Ignactor, yes please. I don't know. This map also has a lot of slopes, similar to how the Windward Plains was. Wow, that one went down really fast. Interesting. You're being hatingly realistic, yeah. Because Ignactor is sick! Like, I would love Ignactor back. It just... Yeah, I don't know. I'm so glad we got Gravios. That was a big surprise. I think we're gonna pass him here. Yeah, there he is. What a Chad. I don't like how he sounds like a bear in this game, though. That was a mistake. I'd want a Cantor and Ucanlos both in one title update. Oh, that would be nuts. Yeah, I want them both too as well. That's another one where I don't know, maybe. Like, we do have an ice and a fire map, perhaps. That could be a cool, cool title update, at least for one of them. I see a Cantor more likely than Ucanlos, because I feel like the Ice Shard Cliffs special arena for Jindahad, like, it's still kind of cramped. Like, I don't know if it's really fit for Ucanlos. But the Gogmazios arena, I could absolutely see a Cantor. Yeah. It's much bigger, more open. So this one is tempered, so it should be a little bit more difficult. Maybe not die as fast as that last Rathalos did. Gravios is so underwhelming. Yeah, I could say that. I could agree with that. Like, I'm happy he's in the game, but he did not feel like he had the weight and the strength that he had in, like, the first two generations. Especially with, like, the immense glow up that, like, Rathalos got, for example. Like, he's awesome in this game. Oh, hi, Gravios. Dude. Did it start a quest for Gravios? I was fighting Rathalos. Uh-oh. Whoopsie. I guess I'm fighting both. Well, yeah, obviously, Ucanlos and a Cantor could come back and have their own genuine new maps. Which is likely for literally any monster they bring back that's like a big siege fight. And of course they'll give it its own new map, for sure. Oh, where's he going? He better not be leaving. This is where I regret not having scout flies. I think I can go up here. I wonder what they'll do to make Lao interesting. I don't think they have to do much. People are worried that they're going to make Lao like nothing like his old fight. I don't think we have to worry about that. Ah, there we go. He's dead. I don't think we have to worry about Lao being like completely different. I think it's just going to be like a slow, yeah, just like a slow fight. A lot of just hitting it, a lot of siege weapons probably. Like as long as it's more fun than Zor Magdaros, I think they're successful. That's really all they need to do is just. Oh, that is not the right way. Down here. Maybe instead of Lao running through a map, it'll be an actual fight against him. Perhaps. The thing is, like, Lao isn't really meant to be like a hostile monster. Like, Lao is it's kind of just like running through a town, and you just have to defend it from attacking the town. So maybe it'll be a repel quest, you know? Like, maybe it'll be like you just gotta make it go away. Similar to Zor Magdaros, it was the exact same thing as Zor Magdaros. They could do that. Okay, I accidentally started a fight against this Gravios, but he should not be so bad. I've got a dragon weapon. He's got some weakness to dragon. I also could use my dual blades, but... if we're lucky, if we're really lucky, they have a huge helping of surprise returning monsters for this game, like way more than we expect. I'm expecting mostly variants, like I'm expecting like subspecies, and like that's it. Probably variants of all the Apex monsters, and then Elder Dragons, but they could really surprise us and add like a bunch of genuine new fights. Nope. Oh, he's gonna... oh, he's blasted me. And then it falls to its presumed death. But yeah, well, yeah, we all knew Zor Magdaros was gonna die. He's gonna roll. World was packed. Yeah, it was pretty packed. At the same time, I'm also worried we're gonna get something similar to Sunbreak, where the expansion has like significantly less new monsters. Because like base Rise had a ton of monsters, like a good helping of them. And then Sunbreak was almost all just like nothing burger variants. I shouldn't say nothing burger, people like those variants. But it was like, yeah, it was like silver and gold again, yeah, alright. Oh, no. Oh. Let's hit him. There we go. Nice. Where is our centipede monster? That's a good question. The concept art for Celtis Queen was kind of centipede-like. And that's why its tail is like long and segmented. It's a leftover. So the closest thing we got is Celtis Queen. But even that doesn't really count. Yeah, a centipede monster would be very cool. They just give it the Leviathan skeleton. But I would probably expect something like that to happen in the next mainline game, like Monster Hunter 7. Probably wouldn't happen in Portable. Like, it would not be the next game if they were to do like more bug monsters. Just in general, like the monsters they tend to add in Portable games tend to be like, I don't know, very safe, very like, I don't want to say like Pokemon-like, but yeah, like monsters that are very, like Malfestio, you know, or Astalos, very like marketable, I guess. Like Hirabami is not a marketable monster, but he's cool. You can't put him on like a box art. But you can put Gossarog on a box art. And they both use ice. So. I don't know. I'm just yapping at this point. I love how you can walk on top of the monsters. That's so cool. If you want a Monster Hunter game that's as packed as Generations Ultimate, you'll probably get it in the next title. There's another Rathian. I think I might go fight that, because the last Rathian I fought wasn't really like a fair Rathian fight. It was just chaos. Plesioth is another one I really want in Ascendance, but I also don't think is going to happen. I think Plesioth would be perfect for this game, but I don't believe the devs are gonna pull the trigger on that. If they do, I'll be very happy. I really like Plesioth. Plesioth's another one of those, like, in my top 20. I don't find him insufferable like, you know, most Monster Hunter players tend to. And I think he would be just fine in like a modern game. It would do a lot of good for him. And I love how like big he is and how he stands on like really tall, spindly legs. I don't know, there's something cute about it. Oh! So I know they'll do Lao Shenlong, but I really don't think they'll do Ashen Lao Shenlong. Or any variant of Lao Shenlong. I have a good feeling that they are done with like variants that are just a color, and that's it. Like there is no difference between Lao Shenlong and Ashen Lao Shenlong except the equipment you get from it's a different color. And it has more health, I guess. Yeah, like, okay, so I understand why people would be like, oh, this game doesn't have any color. I gotta tell you, there's something so cool and moody about even like this. Like the background is so dark and like atmospheric, and Rathian is like, ooh, it's like a shadow, and like how the light from his from her, oh my goodness, I misgendered the dragon. The light from her like mouth shines. It's very cool. Ooh, it's so cool. It's so moody. Bring back Copper Blangunga and leave Rajang out. I don't think Rajang's coming back. I really like Rajang, but I don't think that's happening. So like we have to remember that Tokuda directed this game and World, and you can read into what monsters Tokuda designed. Rajang was one of the ones he helped design, and I have a feeling that because Tokuda loves World and Wilds, he probably feels fulfilled if they're brought back in either of the games, right? So like, you know, think about it like this: if you made both World and Wilds, but you also made Rajang, and Rajang was able to be in one of those games but not the other, you'd probably be okay with that. Which is why I think that like he's probably not going to put it into the other one. He was probably like, ooh, yes, one of the monsters I designed was in one of the games I made, you know? One of the games I directed, I guess. But I don't think that he's prioritizing getting them both in. He wanted Lagiacrus in World, but wasn't able to. Thankfully got him in Wilds. Oh. Oh, damn. Yeah, throw him. That's so cool. So, to be honest, I really had no plan for this stream other than just, like, chat, talk, just go until I run out of steam, just to test it out again, get comfortable again. Is this something I want to keep doing? I don't know, but I think it's fun to do this every once in a while, and I really should do this more often, just to at least give the YouTube subscribers something, anything. I know, though, YouTube has changed so much, and like, I'm sure like the bulk of the people that are subscribed aren't getting notifications. That's just how it be these days. But it is worth it, I think, at least once. Give it a shot. There's a lot of those guys. A lot of Rompopolo. Hey. I don't want to do that, dude. Hey. It's like the old Lego commercials, like the Lego City needs your help. And then, oh my god, that would be so funny if I should keep the sound effect of that and make like a little like Lego commercial with my models, but like I make a Lego version of Werner from Wilds, the character, and have him be like, hey, a zoo's village needs you. Hunt the Rompopolo. This sucks. This is a stupid idea. You need to make the Admirable in Lego. Nah, fire bit. Keep it going. No, don't say that. Now I don't want to. It's a fire bit, dude. A woodward has fallen into a river in the Scarlet Forest. A Lullabarina is on its tail. Save it. Stupid. The map mod you're having right now, see how I see the HUD for World War 6 is like if they're adopting the larger connected maps from Wilds. Yeah, maybe. Has anyone played Monster Hunter Outlanders? And if you have played Monster Hunter Outlanders, what is the map system like in that game? Is it just like Genshin? Like, is it just like giant? Wait, can you use the whetstone when you're on top of the... Ooh, I didn't... That's cool. I probably have done this before, but you know, I'm actually like thinking about it now. We can do a Rompopolo. I'll do Rompopolo, and then maybe I'll go to the Scarlet Forest. I don't know. Again, I'm just messing around. I'll basically go until you guys are bored, or until I'm bored, or if my viewer count drops below 20, then I'll just be like, all right, pack it up, bro. This was very unprompted, so I don't blame. I kind of blame that on like, and YouTube, and also the fact that I'm not very funny or entertaining, but whatever. We're having fun. We're chill. What's your favorite new monster in Wilds? Oh, it's Lullabarina. I love Lullabarina. Great monster. Oh, whoa, dude. Camera man. What is the cameraman doing? We do not need to see that. That was wild. Outlanders is the first Monster Hunter game that I genuinely lack interest in. Will probably play it on release for a while. I don't see myself enjoying it. See, if there was an option to play Outlanders with, like, a controller of some kind, even, like, a phone, built-in phone... I've got this, like, attachment for my phone that turns my phone into, like, a game controller with a screen. I use it to play my PSP Monster Hunter games. Like, I'll, like, you know, if I'm on a plane ride, I play Freedom Unite on my phone with, like, you know, a little attachment that attaches on the sides of the phone screen. If I could do that without Outlanders, Outriders? Yeah, Outlanders, that's what it's called, Outriders. I would do that. But, unfortunately, it seems like it's touch controls only. And if it's touch controls only, I don't want to do that, man. Yo, Jacob, how y'all doing? I'm doing pretty good. Doing alright. I decided to play this for fun. I don't know which one I'm supposed to be fighting. This is awesome. Maybe it's this one? I think it's this one. Yeah, it's gotta be this one. And it's not even the fact that it's a gacha. A lot of things that just don't look appealing to me. Yeah, it doesn't quite look like the... It doesn't quite look like a Monster Hunter experience that I'm necessarily looking for. And, the monster selection seems to be a lot of, like, world monsters, which is fine. I like world monsters to a degree. The character design I'm not really thrilled on, like, at all. They're not... I'm not interested in the character design. They're not, like... I don't know. They're not, like, moe enough. I think I mentioned that in my video, and everyone was like, man, shut up. And I was like, okay, well, there's no... I'm not even gonna voice my opinion on that, because I don't think people understand what I mean. They don't look interesting. They look very boring, very, like, corporate designed, gacha characters. That's what they feel like to me. Which means nothing. Like, cool original opinion, Jacob. You think the gacha characters look like gacha characters. That's the thing, they don't even look like Final Fantasy characters. I feel like they look... I don't know, they look like... They look like League of Legends characters to me. That's what it is. Really, I just really don't like the look of them. I remember when I saw Arkfeld in the reveal trailer, and I thought he was so rad, and now he's just another bird wyvern to me. I don't know, if they bring Monster Outlanders to PC, I'll play it. Speaking on that last comment, I still like Arkfeld a lot. I think I'm in the minority where I believe that... Did the other Ron Popolo follow me? Really? I'm of the belief that Arkfeld would have had a greater impact on, I think, people if there was, like, a difference in the way that the Guardian one looked versus I guess, like, the actual species Arkfeld. If there was a difference between the way the two of those looked, then I think it would have had a bit of a lasting impact on people, so that the Guardian Arkfeld, like, really felt different. And the regular Arkfeld could be its own thing. More... Yeah, I don't know. I like the story impact of fighting it once. I didn't need to be able to fight Arkfeld again. Same with Zoshia. I think fighting a creature once was fine. But I understand, like, that's just not how Monster Hunter is. People like to fight the same monster over and over again. I mean, look at me. What am I doing? Cool, that's that one. What about, the only one that strikes me as Monster Hunter character is that one Rathian Longsword lady. Yeah, she's neat, I guess. Oh, what? There we go. That's what I was looking for. I hope with the expansion they add more character voices. So I was really happy in Rise when they added more character voices, even if they were DLC, and they really shouldn't have been, but whatever. I was happy they at least did it. I'm kind of disappointed that Wilds only has 6 player voice actors. And, like, the player character does not have a lot of voice lines. Like, they have significantly less than, like, anyone else in the game. So, and I know they have to hire, there's, like, well, I think it's handled by regional localizers. So the regional localizers would have to then hire, you know, their different voice actors. So you'd have to hire a new voice actor for every language, and I understand that that's probably like hell. But I hope that they retroactively at least add like one new voice actor per gender. Or, I don't know, maybe make some new ones that are more ambiguous. In a sense, we have Guardian Arkfeld and Arkfeld that is so close to Guardian Arkfeld, and apparently strong individuals can also become Guardian again. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm fine with it. Like, it's not like it's not ruining the game for me or anything, but it's definitely a thing where I'm like, it would be neat. It would be neat if the Arkfeld that we fight later is something genuinely new. I'm gonna go and make sure my character eats at the actual. Sorry, there's a comment from a while back I did not read. Do you think we'd ever have a Monster Hunter game from a perspective other than the Guild Hunters Riders? And the answer is, I think no. No, I don't think there's a place for it and for the brand. Like, they don't even do that for their other franchises, right? Like, there's no Phoenix Wright game from the perspective of the police, you know? Like, I think that the closest we've gotten is the Riders, but even the Riders are still hunting the monsters, so. Like, I think it'd be neat to have a game where you play as like maybe a handler or like a farmer, but I don't see that happening. Oh, it's a festival right now. I've not been keeping track. Yeah, I need more Mega Potions. So I'm going to maybe do 1 or 2 more fights in the Scarlet Forest and then maybe call it. There's a Lullabrina, I can do that. Yeah. Let's do that camp. Why not? Oops. Nope. Except in part. Like, if they made a Resident Evil game from the perspective of the zombies. Are they called zombies in Resident Evil? No, right? They got like their own.
You have everything?
Yes, I have everything, Alma. I don't have everything. She is right.
If you create a loadout.
I know, Alma! Stop! Leave me alone, I don't want to use loadouts. I want to just grab a new weapon. Yeah, I'll fight a Lullabrina, I think I'll call it. A Mega Man game from the perspective of Dr. Light. That's so dumb. Sorry, I don't mean to like attack that idea. I think that there is like a potential for it for sure. It's just yeah. Typically that's not how it works. I think like a TV show maybe, but even then. Because we wait a minute, no we did get the spin-off with the cats. We got Monster Hunter Feline Village. Okay, so I guess it's possible. But you still hunt monsters in that game though. Extraction shooter Monster Hunter? Maybe. One player is the monster and everyone else is the hunter. But then again, like the gameplay is still Monster Hunter. It's a neat idea for sure. Like I could see that happening. I've also seen people say they should make a fighting game with the monsters, but yeah, I don't know. Capcom has enough fighting games. They should probably focus on the fighting game IPs that like actually has fans. Evolved that had a good premise, shame the game died. I didn't get a chance to play it. I don't think I ever will. Are the servers still up for that, or is that like dead? Does the Scarlet Forest remind you of the Flooded Forest? Not really, no. This feels like its own thing. No, it really does feel like its own thing. The Steam page got taken down. Oh yeah, no, that game is dead. Oh, what a shame. Yeah, I feel like that gameplay loop would work better for a franchise that already has, like, established fans. That's probably why, like, Dead by Daylight does so well, is because it relies on all that IP. Like, if they did an Evolve game, but it was the monsters from Monster Hunter, I think that would work really well. It probably would work even better than the actual game. Because these monster designs are so iconic and like people want that they like them. They like them enough to have figures of them, you know? To have them as their like PFP on Twitter. Ain't no one doing that for Evolve. So unless they added it to Steam account ahead of its removal, I'm unsure whether you can get your hands on it. I'm sure there's like Steam keys you can buy or, you know, alternative ways. What is that noise? Are there things? Or is it just the fish? Yeah, give me a sushi fish. Oh yeah, there's totally stuff above me. They're flying around. Oh, there it is. Is that the John Monster Hunter? I don't know. Am I John Monster Hunter? What fish is this? Starduster. That's a sushi fish. And what's this one? Okay. I'm just a Monster Hunter. Not the Monster Hunter. One of many. And not a very good one. What am I doing? Come on. Hit these guys. I remember getting the fishing achievements in this game at launch was absolutely hell because the Scarlet Force would hard crash on AMD GPUs whenever the time would change. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I would just, like, sit up at the top of the Scarlet Forest and just, like, fish for hours. That's how I was able to get that stuff. It worked out. Oh, got a lot of monsters today. A lot of Rathian. A lot of Hirobami, too. I'm at 82 Hirobami. I might as well go to 100, you know? Like... You know, my goal was 50. Might as well get to 100 of each monster, right? That's the next goal, 100 of each monster. No, I can't say that. So, I only do have one Guardian Arcfelt. Talking about it earlier. Thought I had two. Only got one. So... But you only need to fight one, so... Yeah, you only need to fight one. Zoshia, I have to fight 30. I haven't gotten to 30 yet. Most of the ones that keep spawning are like the most difficult one because my HR is so high. It only spawns like the difficult one, and I'm not good enough at the game to fight it on my own. I can. It's just it's stressful, you know. Like I want something easy. If I wanted something stressful, I could. I absolutely could go do it, but it's like I've already done it enough times in the stressful version. Can I fight it in the non-stressful version? GOG is one that I need to just grind out. I need to get a team together and just fight this thing like 20 times over. Get a bunch of materials and then I need to make all the status weapons. So I'm ready to go for Ascendance. I love hypothetical game creation videos. Do you think you'll ever make my dream Monster Hunter video going over mechanics and story on your wish list and your dream monster roster? I could do something like that. It's a fun thing to do, but I don't know. There's times where I feel like it feels like it's entering a territory. I don't want it to come off as cringe, you know? Like, there's some people that will be like, oh, this is weird. Like, why are you theory crafting something that will never happen? It's like, I don't know. I love Monster Hunter. Okay, if you want, like, my real answer, truthfully, like, I could theory craft away, like, what my dream Monster Hunter would be, but a lot of that could be seen in what I do with my Lego stuff, right? Like, I'm gonna fight the other Lullabrine here. I'm gonna keep going. A little bit more. I feel like the Lego stuff I'm doing is kind of already it. Like I've got my own quest lists on that catalog. It's unfinished. I have my own weapon tree, which okay, the weapon tree is really funny actually. Maybe when I wrap this up, I'll show you guys my Lego weapon tree because. It's funny if you were to view it in the context of like an actual Monster Hunter game and how unbalanced and unfair it is, especially if you use certain weapons and not others. So I'll show it. But oh, you have over 200 Hirobami kills. See, that's the kind of number I strive for. If I was a speedrunner, I probably would already have like 999 of every monster. That's, you know, people that play the game a lot. I spend more time building the monsters out of Lego than I do actually hunting them in game. I wish the auto walk on Secrets wasn't a thing because I think it's a major reason why people dislike maps in Wilds or dismiss them as boring and inferior to the previous versions. I think that's part of it. I think it's a complex thing. Frankly, like, I think a lot of people said that the maps in Rise were boring and inferior. Not the same people, different people. I think that no matter what, you're gonna get people that are gonna say the maps are boring and inferior. I've heard back when Monster Hunter 4 came out, people said the Monster Hunter 4 maps were boring and inferior. Or like they said that they're annoying to traverse because of all the cliffs and They make hunting monsters difficult because you're constantly falling off cliffs and whatnot. I think people just they like what they originally play, and then the moment they have something different, they just don't like it anymore. Like, they don't like the new thing. They just like the old thing. These maps are designed for the Sacred, but if you don't ride on the Sacred, they're kind of too big. They're really, really big. These maps are huge. And you'll feel it if you just walk around. I think that the issues with the map probably actually comes... I think it's from the Scout Flies. I don't think this game needs Scout Flies, frankly. I think it would benefit everyone if you just tested the navigational skills of the player and just had them go figure out the way to the monster themselves. Like, it's on the map. Just learn the map. Like, because I promise you, vanilla, if the game was otherwise vanilla, you remove the Scoutfly navigation, a bulk of the new players would absolutely be getting lost, and they would have to learn how to navigate this map. This mod that I've been using has been really helpful in having me learn how to navigate the map on my own without the need of Scoutflies. Sounds like the Monster Hunter Frontier Lance weapon tree smile. Yeah, no, it's pretty funny. A friend of mine is one of those people who didn't like the Monster 4 maps for the same reason. They are a 3 ultimate head. Yeah, literally. Man, I'm just like, I'm enjoying this. Like, I'm enjoying playing, and I don't want to stop. Like, I just want to keep going. Water. I don't need a water weapon. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I just actually, like, unironically, I just love this game. I love how it feels. I love how it plays. If I go into this tent, Alma's gonna be like, remember to bring a loadout. Alma. I know. We are gonna change. I guess I could do a longsword. Thunder? Ice. That's not ice, that's water, dude. Thunder? Yeah, let's do thunder. Let's go. Yeah. I think Wild's big map issue is none of the maps really have what I call clash zones, which monsters meet up and run into each other commonly. Thus it makes hunts very samey. Okay, that is a valid and new point I've never really thought about. Like, obviously there are points where the monsters do clash. But I think I can see where you're coming from, where maybe it just doesn't happen as often. I would have to I guess like watch for it and see if I fully agree or disagree. Where is the Shogama? I feel like I was just walking past him. Oh, he's up there. I haven't fought a Shogama yet in this stream, so let's fight a Shogama. Oh, he's mad. Funny how gathering itself has become streamlined. We've gone from 3+ A buttons to gather herbs, to gather the whole plant at once, to gathering a plant from a distance. What was that in the distance? Oh, it's Arkfeld. Dude, what's Arkfeld doing? Oh, is he fighting congas? Damn. It's like, die, monkeys. Oh my goodness. Arkfeld, you didn't have to go there. Gathering is a topic. My general thought on gathering is that you should be able to gather quickly, but also you should be able to keep gathering if you want to. Like, if you're passing by the item, like, make it so that, yeah, you can just grab it at a distance. But make it so that, like, if you want to keep grabbing things, you keep grabbing them. Especially with mining spots. Like, I find it... Like, mining in the previous games weren't I would say they really weren't that bad, and they're not even really that bad here either. But in Wilds, especially, there's times where I'm like, okay, I need Fusium ore. And then I go to the mining spot and I mine it, and it's like, here's 3 Carbolite ore. And it's like, okay, I want Fusium ore. So then I go to the other mining spot, and maybe I have a chance of getting 1. Which I guess is basically just like the older games. But at least with the older games, you can mine like 4, 5, 6 times from the same spot. So it would be nice if you can at least like mine, you know, more than once from a spot. Maybe, you know, if you sit there and you just keep going, that'd be nice. If you want to use your, you know, the grapple hook thing, you could, and you just get like 1 item. You could keep doing that over and over again, but then maybe also you could mine like twice, and then you get like 2 full rounds of ore. So just like merge the old and new. Shogama is so cool. They really knocked it out of the park with all the monsters in this game. They all feel like ferocious and unique with their moveset. Like none of them feel like clones of one another. With the exception of the Guardians, of course. Okay, dude, I need to sharpen my sword here. Most monster games, there's areas where most monsters go. Example, center of the map usually. Wilds Design doesn't really have that in the maps, mostly because it was seen as too gamey. Maybe. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I think that maybe the reason why monsters showed up in a lot of the center of the maps usually was because they just needed a place to go, and they all happened to go to the same area. And also just for like navigation's sake. In the older games, like if you lost the monster on the map, yeah, if you lost the monster on the map, well, you have to run around somewhere, and it's probably nice if there was like a consistent spot that you can reliably assume that the monster will show up in. Unless it's like first gen and you're trying to find Diablos and he's underground the entire time, and you're going from area to area to area, and he's underground, and even when he transitions between areas, he stays underground. We used to have it so bad. I think I'll forget. Spend 20 minutes trying to find Monoblos. You wave at the balloon, and then you go there, and Monoblos isn't there anymore. And you can't wave at the balloon again. Hope he brought Psycho Serum. Oh, yeah, hit that. Hit him. Yeah! Sword is such a cheap weapon. But it's so much fun. Wilds honestly has a big lack of mining spots, which you don't really notice until you try to get all armor sets. I did find, just in general, mining in this game wasn't enjoyable the same way it was in other games. Even in, I would say even like in... No, World was pretty bad. I didn't mind mining in Rise. I felt like the mining spots were pretty consistent, and they were easy to find. And while it's like, I don't know. There's not like any spots, like in the older titles, it was pretty consistent where, like, you know, there would be maps that are better for mining, and there would be zones that were just better for mining. Like, you go to the cave to mine. There's gonna be a ton of mining spots in the cave. Do you like this weapon? You know what's really funny? On average, an average slice of the longsword just does more damage than an average poke of a lance. And you hit more frequently than with a longsword than you do with a lance on average. They totally balance these weapons. I meant to use a whetstone. With your builds, are you including any monsters in the story series? My Lego builds, yeah. So I would like to, but so far, truthfully, I haven't. There's a couple of the smaller monsters from the stories games, like the first Monster Stories 1, the final boss Elder Dragon. Like, I'd like to make a Lego build of that, because it's just the size of it's just the yeah, it's the size of like the typical like Kashella or Teostra builds. I would just reuse that skeleton. When I make my models, they all reuse the same like standards. Once I have like a design figured out, I just reuse that method of building. Was that a Rathalos I passed by? I think so. There's another Lullabrina. You know what? I'll fight the other Lullabrina. I don't know. I'm having fun. I mean, nice in general if manual gathering was given more of an importance in the future instead of having players rely on a farm, which is not inherently bad. I don't want a farm at all. I don't like the farms at all. I think the farm is just a bad idea. Like, it's just not needed for Monster Hunter. Like, it's cute. I think in concept it's cute, but in execution, like I was playing for Yumi Night again, like it feels like a slave shift, like a chore I have to do. It's like, oh, time to do my laundry in between each quest, you know? Like, I have to go to the farm and do all this stuff, and it's like, I don't have to, but I should. I should be optimizing myself that way. And that's where I'm like, oh, I don't want this again. And the same thing is for the trading thing that's in 4. Like, I don't want that either. I want a game where you live off the land. Just like this one. I like this one. Like, yeah, sure, Nado will bring you stuff, but... So it's the exact same system again, but I have it set to random, so you'll just get me random things. I don't have it set up to be like just giving me one item. I don't like menus. I just want to go onto the field, and if there's honey out there, I get the honey, you know? No! You moved! Why do you do the most optimal DPS of Longsword? Because I know it's boring. I know, but it's optimal. I know it's boring, but it's optimal. That's why I don't play Longsword all the time. I prefer Chargeblade. There's like, if Chargeblade feels more interactive and fun. Longsword is turn your brain off weapon. No, I'm getting paralyzed by all these little petals. Oh. Jacob, it's just a Lullabrina. Just hit it. I built an RPG style guide for Gunlands. Like tabletop RPG? That's neat. You can be able to build Dalamadur. I talked about that earlier in the stream. I'm probably just gonna do like the upper half of Dalamadur. I won't do the full model. Because I've done calculations based on the official Monster Hunter, back when Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate was coming out, like they did like a live event in Japan, and they had this whole thing that says how long Dalamadur is on average, and I did my calculation, and he would be like at least 15 feet long if I built him out of Lego at this scale. So that's a no-go. That's not happening. It would cost like thousands of dollars, and idiots would go and buy the pieces and actually build it, and I don't want anyone. I don't care if you love Dalamadur. I don't think anyone should be spending that much money on plastic. If you're gonna spend that much money on plastic, at least buy like, I don't know, like one of every other monster that's in Monster Hunter 4, not just on Dalamadur. You know what I mean? Um, I think a full overhaul of Monster Hunter would be great. I think that an overhaul of the weapons need to happen. Like, and I've said this for a while. Like, these weapon movesets are way too complicated. They could easily dial it back. Yeah, collect the bones. It's like Breath of the Wilds. You remove quests, you hunt in the wilds, then you groom wildlife. What? You groom wildlifes on the hunt? I don't know if I want to do any grooming. There's a new Udra? Tempered Gypceros. Do I want to fight a new Udra? Or do I want to stop? Should I keep going? Guys, should I keep going? Do you want me to keep going? What should I fight? I do agree somewhat, thinking recently how I missed the simpler movesets. I mean, like the Palico in Wilds, like you give them solo Gog. I don't want to solo Gog. It's so difficult. I would only do it if I brought like people along with me. If I brought like, not people, you know what I mean, like NPC hunters. I don't want to solo Gog. Not right now. I would have to do NPC. Solo tempered Gog. No, I would need to bring NPCs. I'm not gonna solo that. We need new weapons. Okay. Wait, wasn't the guy here? The guy was here a second ago and now he's gone. No, I am stocked, bro. Jack. Provision stockpile. Okay, I'll fight the... I'll do the Chatacabra that's here. Yeah, why not? Yeah. It's during the plenty. The weather is so nice. Oh, this poor toad. No, I don't want a quick break, Alma. I want to beat this toad up. People yearn for 10-star Gog. No, I don't want 10-star. I'm scared for the G-rank version of Gog Mazios. It's gonna be just stupid. Sorry, I only fight toads. Oh. Yeah, I knew the moment I would ask someone, I was expecting you guys to be like, fight like Arc-Tempered Arcveld or something. But he immediately went for the Gog. I didn't really enjoy the Gog fight in this game as much as I like it. It kind of lost my favorite aspect of the original Gog, where he was treated just like a normal monster. So yeah, I have to say, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's really an unpopular opinion at all. Like, I think that the Gog fight is fun. It is fun, but at the same time, I'm like, it's okay. I'm not like amazed by it. I felt like it was kind of overwhelming in the final stage, and yeah. I understand why they did it. Like, the response to Alatreon back in World was really poor when people did not read. And so now they're like, okay, well, if the player base isn't going to read and they're going to review bomb because they don't know how to read, well, then maybe we should have the game scream at you instead. And so it's just like, oh. I don't know. I don't hate the fight. I don't hate GOG in this game. But I think I do like this GOG more than the 4U GOG, but I also don't think I like it. I don't think it's my favorite fight in this game. Like, I think I like Jin Dahad more than GOG, maybe. Oh, it's daytime. Beautiful. Oh, this weapon is so much fun to use, especially with focus mode. Wow. In addition to dialing back the weapon movesets, I honestly think the games could also benefit from a skill deload or just going back to the old skill system. I know it's skill deload. I don't think we need to go back to the old system. I think the system is better. Skill debloat, and I think the fastest way to skill debloat is literally to bring back negative skills, but I don't know if they'll do that. Because, yeah, the moment you bring back negative skills, then that the skill debloat just actually will just go down. Best toppings for a bagel? I don't know, I'm a... cream cheese? Jam? Okay, I will say something I've noticed about this game. This is like, I don't think anyone else has ever, like, talked about it. I don't like how, like, insane the hunter can just, like, rotate. Like, I think it's fine. In focus mode, I think it's okay. Focus mode, for the most part, even when your weapon is out... This is silly. But it's fine. I think that this is okay, and it's fine. I think it's cool to be able to, like, you know... rotate your attacks like that's really neat. I love focus mode, right? I really do like this. I don't think we need the focus mode attack. I don't think we need this. I also don't think we need the wound system at all, but this is fine. I do think this is fine. This feels complementary to what the game was already, what Monster Hunter was already doing, which was about positioning. I think the issue is that the actual player movement is just kind of too fast. Especially like your ability to just like turn on a dime, you know, like I can rotate so fast. And it's really funny when you like, if you're on the Sacred and you jump off like a maniac and you're just like scurrying around like crazy. And it's like picking things up and it's like, I don't know, like like what I have to imagine, like Alma, she's not a real person, but if Alma was like a real person, she like saw this like freak gliding through the air and scurrying around like a maniac over these like rocks, she'd be like, dude, what's wrong with the hunter? And then the hunter goes up to the characters and is so stoic and is like, I'm going to hunt that monster, and then like runs off like a maniac again. Like I know they make jokes about it, like they kind of like call the hunter kind of not insane, but like fearless. Like they have a lot of guts. I find it funny in the execution how fast you move, and especially with the heavy equipment on your back. I could see a Monster Hunter game where they dialed that back, and if you dialed that back, I think the whole game would feel a lot slower. It's really just like running around, like you don't catch a break. There's a lot of like simple actions that I feel like should take some stamina too. Like when you launch yourself off a Sacred, why doesn't that take some stamina? Like that should be the equivalent of like at least evading, right? I like the slinger phase and the idea for GOG, but it feels really inconsistent. Like I have no idea if I'm doing good or not. Yeah, I feel that way. You should focus mode. Certain weapons like Lance are just permanently locked in focus mode. Like you should always be in focus mode playing Lance. That is true. It is. I don't play Lance, but my friend that does says that like he did not like Lance until he realized you should just play the entire game in focus mode. and then the game works and Lance can be fun. But I can see your point of view where it's like you shouldn't have to. Focus mode should be about about helping you with your positioning, not necessarily about, I guess, like aiming. I feel like sometimes, especially harder and feel that way sometimes in harder fights regarding the focus mode. Have we asked Jacob's opinion on artificial monsters? I am okay with artificial monsters in principle. I don't know if I necessarily like the Guardians, though. There's a 9-star stretch. I'm not going to fight that. No. Like, I don't know. If they're okay. We can go here, fight the Stripsaros. Like, yeah, I'm okay with, like, Wyveria, for example. Like, making artificial monsters like that, I'm totally fine with. I don't think we need to add any more. Like, I don't feel like we need any more Guardian monsters. I feel like we did enough of that. But if they decide to do more, like, I wouldn't be upset, right? If the choices are good. Like, I would say, like I said, like, I think Legiana would be maybe not the best choice, but I'd be okay with, like, a Legiana Guardian. As long as the Guardian monsters kind of just stay in this game and nowhere else, I'll be okay with it. I think that Guardian monsters can help explain, like, the idea of artificial monsters can help explain some of the abnormal creatures that exist in this world, right? Like, I'm much more willing to accept something like Gore Magala wasn't actually, like, a real creature that existed normally. Maybe Gore Magala was a failed experiment. Same with even like Valstrax, because Valstrax is already like, whoa, like how could you possibly evolve? Like what environmental factors would cause, you know, survival of the fittest to cause like a creature to adapt that way, you know what I mean? Like there's no environmental stressor that would cause you to become an airplane. So I would be okay with like, oh, well, it was actually like a failed experiment by Ancient Wyveria, and then it later kind of organically found a niche based off of the weird genetic engineering that was already put onto it, then that I would be okay with. So I'm okay with the Guardian monsters in principle. I think the reason I was okay with them almost immediately is the fact that it was like, well, I was already a fan of the Equal Dragon weapon. I read that first Monster Hunter Illustrations book way back in 2012, like 15 years ago almost. Like, I was okay with it back then. I'm still okay with it now. I have to be. Again, I don't really like the color schemes or like the aesthetic of the Guardian monsters. I think they should have gone more of like a Jurassic Park approach, where it was like, this is their attempt at making their own version, and maybe it's the color scheme is different. Like maybe like, you know, Rathalos was like all white, but it was still like a Rathalos. Then I think I'd be more okay with it. Or maybe if they gave it like a new color scheme. What if it had like, I don't know, like stripes or something? As a Wilds expert, can you explain why it's so hard to just join a multiplayer lobby with friends? Is it? I don't find it that hard. With friends, if you want with friends, you set up your, you know, the link party. What I do is I have a what are they called? It's not a link party, it's the squad. That's what it is. It's the squad party. I have the squad party. I've invited all my friends to the squad party, and we always, anytime we play, we just join the squad party lobby. And we're all in the same lobby, and then we can it tells each other if we have quests or not. Another Clemetrace. I just don't want to fight anything big. For me, it's 1 to 3 new Guardians and Ascendants, and I'm satisfied, honestly. 1 for each element. Like, yeah, like, I could see that, right? I could see, like, Legiana being, like, the Ice Guardian. I guess we need, like, a Water Guardian, but also at the same time, like, would Wyveria need a Water Guardian? You know, like, would they need something? Since they've introduced riders and stories, I'm surprised they haven't done a core hunter game with it as an option to play as versus just hunting them. Yeah. I think the reason is because it's really difficult to program and make it all work, balancing it, you know? That would be a massive gimmick all on its own. Also, I think everyone would just choose to be a rider. Everyone would choose to be a rider. Like, that would probably be the most optimal thing to do. They would have to be its own game. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, Stories 4 is gonna just be, like, very close to typical Monster Hunter. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually just dropped the RPG elements in a future Stories game, and there's just a Stories game where it plays like this, but it's Stories. That I could totally see them doing. Just make it harder and harder for the army of devs to program. That's sort of that's what happens with every game. I was gonna do the thing. I was gonna show off the weapon tree, my Lego weapon tree. Now, why am I showing this off? Because I find it funny if you approach it from the perspective of a Monster Hunter fan. So, how do I... Let's do window capture. Oh! And then let's move it up. Ah, here it is. Okay, perfect. Alright. If for whatever reason you're like, this is stupid, then, I mean, you can leave if you want. This is the last thing I wanted to talk about before I wrap it up here. As I just find it funny. Are you inviting us to your squad? No, I'm not inviting any of you to the squad. Sorry, my squad is just for, like, my personal friends. I don't play with, like, randoms unless I'm, like, close friends with them. So this is, if you go and you look up my Monster Hunter Lego Monster Hunter, like, catalog, this is it, right? I have, like, all the monsters here, and there's, like, estimates of what it costs to get the parts from Lego. There's a tab at the bottom. I don't know, the tab's showing up. At the bottom, you can see a couple tabs. One of the tabs is weapons. And so, I can show you here. I've been trying to make a bunch of weapons from Monster Hunter and make them, like, minifigure scale so that the little Lego characters can hold the weapons. And you could, I don't know, put them on your shelf or role play with them, or just, you know, if you have a kid, then the kid could play with it. But they're meant to just be, like, for fun, right? Like, they're goofy, they're for fun. It's like a what if. So I've been making these weapons, and I made a weapon tree. And what I find funny about it is I was making weapons that I felt were iconic, or weapons that were easy to build at this scale. Like, I can't do everything. There's, like, a lot of Velkhana weapons that I just actually can't build out of Lego because they're so ornate and they're very ceramic looking, and, like, there's lots of, like, little details, and you just can't do it at that scale, like at the tiny scale for the little dudes. So I've been making these like, you know, I'm trying to make them work, and some of them work. Like yeah, that's the Rathalos greatsword for sure, and like that's the Glavenus greatsword, and that's the Spear Tuna comedy weapon, you know, and so I got like the Fatalis greatswords. So what's funny, right, is I made a bunch of greatswords, and if you look at this greatsword tree, there's no water weapon. There's no water greatsword. I just haven't made a water greatsword. So if this was theoretically like a real game, there's just no water greatsword. If you're playing greatsword exclusively, there's no water option. There's also no poison option. There's one blast option, and it's Fatalis, like endgame Fatalis. So I found that funny, and then I was looking at the other ones too, and I'm like, okay, you go into like longsword, right? It's like you got the Rathalos, so you got fire, and it's like, okay, well that could upgrade you through most of the game. You know, you get your fire weapon, and it upgrades to Silver Rathalos, great, right? But like, okay, well maybe I want a paralysis longsword. Well, your only option is Yamasukami, which is another endgame monster. The only thunder option is Rajang, which is another closer to endgame monster. You want a dragon longsword? Sorry, it's Lao Shan Lung. You want water? There is no water longsword. There's no ice longsword either. There's no blast longsword. Sorry, you're out of options. And it's kind of like that for all of them. Sword and Shield, there's no water, there's no poison, there's no paralysis, there's no options. You have fire, ice, dragon. Good luck, you know? The first water weapon is in the Dual Blades tree. And that's funny to me. That's funny, right? And I was talking with some of my friends that are like, they've played some of the older Monster Hunter games, and they're telling me that Monster Hunter 1 is a lot like this, where you'll have like weapon trees that just suck. Where like either like the weapon will upgrade to something that sucks and gets cut off at like low rank. It's like, oh, your only option for like I'm making up an example, but like your only water option is Cephalos, and it only upgrades in low rank. So if you want a water, let's say Lance, again I'm making this example up. If you want a water Lance, you can't get one in high rank, and that's kind of what's happening here, where it's like Sword and with Dual Blades. It's like if you want a Dragon Dual Blades, you need Nergigante. That's the end of the game, which makes sense. But like, there's the only Thunder Dual Blades are Kirin. So like, best of luck to ya. And I know part of it is this problem will go away the more I make, you know, weapons, because I'll keep making them, and there will be more. And once there's more, then I'll fill in more of the tree. But I find it funny, because it does remind me of some of the earlier games. So thankfully, Lance has got all the options. It's got fire, it's got water, it's got thunder, ice, dragon, blast. There's no poison or paralysis or sleep. Most of these weapon trees don't have sleep. No water weapons sounds like base world's tree. Yep. I remember now. The water options in world were like Gyarados. Oh my goodness. Oh, excuse me. It was like Gyarados. And like no one would fight Gyarados, and you would not get any of those water sacks you need, and so you just never went for a water weapon. I guess until Call of Teroth, right? Call of Teroth could drop like water weapons. Hammer is the same thing. There's no ice option for Hammer. The only dragon option is Fatalis. No ice or water in the Hunting Horn section. Switch Axe says no fire. There's no fire weapons for Switch Axe. Charge Blade is only fire, thunder, and dragon. So they're all really funny. It's funny to look at, funny to speculate about the idea of like a really bad, unbalanced weapon tree. Because they remind me of the older games. The newer games really are quite nice in your options, right? We can go back to the game real quick. I am wrapping it up here, but when you look at the weapon tree, even in here, none of these weapons are like dead ends, right? Like these, usually at the end, the final upgrade of every one of these weapons tends to be pretty good, right? Why do I have 2 of these? Weird. Yeah. Yeah, there's good options here. Lots of water, lots of fire, lots of poison, everything. Actually, a lot of options for dragon. That tends to be how these newer games are anyway. And then, of course, you got the Gogma weapons or the Artian weapons, which they cover all bases. So, but the older games weren't like that at all, especially Monster Hunter 1 and 2. There was, like, overlap, too, right? Like, you would have some gun... Like, the only way to unlock some gun lances were to upgrade some regular lances into gun lances. Freedom Unite... I remember Freedom Unite having some, like, screwed up weapon upgrades and weapon trees that are, like, breeding into each other, just like that. But, it's not as bad as Monster Hunter 2. Like, Monster Hunter Bad was pretty, like... But Monster Hunter 2 was... Weapon trees were pretty bad. I hated some of the messed up weapon trees in Freedom Unite that had 0 to 1 weapons for some status or elements. Shocking for how many monsters were in that game. Yeah. I fear the scenario here is exactly what's going to happen when I get to making weapon trees for my fan-made Monster Hunter tabletop RPG. Yeah, it's... I gotta tell you guys, and this is something to really think about. If you have ever tried to make your own hypothetical Monster Hunter game, down to, like, what monsters are in it, down to what the quests are, down to all the weapon types, all the weapon trees, it's a lot of work. Like, people say, like, oh, when are we gonna get the 15th weapon? It's like, dude, it already takes, like, you know, like 100 individuals programming, animating, modeling these weapons just to make the first 14 types, right? Like, this is not easy, especially for one person to do. So here I am, right? I'm like, I'm just gonna make a couple weapons. And they're already difficult to design using Lego. And then I have to make the instructions and all that. And then I have to decide, like, okay, well, what's the sharpness going to be for this weapon? Not that it matters, right? It's not like there's no actual gameplay here. But it's something to think about. And once you actually try to do it, you're like, wow, Capcom really puts the effort in. Because this is hard to do. This is not easy. There's a lot of thought that goes into these things. And it's also why a lot of stuff slips by. And why it feels like they don't balance these games very well. How many eggs have you eaten today? Maybe 0, actually. Unless there's any eggs in some of those things I ate. Like in the bread. I fear this... I already read that one. Wait, have you made a single Mizutsune weapon? No. So I haven't. I haven't made a single Mizutsune weapon. Obviously not in the game. I've made the Mizutsune weapons. For my Lego thing that I was showing off earlier. No, not yet. I have not. The only Fated 4 weapon I've made is the one Glavenus Greatsword. There's just so many monsters. There's like over 200, and each and every one of them has a weapon for like every weapon type, you know? Like, so imagine like, that's over 1,000 weapons. It's a lot. You know, 200 monsters versus 14 weapons. Yeah, that's over 2,000 weapons. That's crazy. So, anyway, once again, I want to thank you guys for coming out, hanging out with me. I don't know if I'll stream anytime soon or if I will stream again at all this year. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Leave a comment if you want to stream again. Leave a comment if you like my character, my pink-haired cat girl in the Kirin armor character. I've been working really hard on the Lego stuff, and I'm working very, very hard on my visual novel, which features a pink-haired cat girl character. And once that's ready, I'll have like a Steam page for it. I've been working really hard on that visual novel. It's programmed start to finish. Like, the game is playable from start to finish. But I'm working with artists to make sure that all the backgrounds are done. I'm making most of the backgrounds myself using like a 3D. It's a secret. I have a secret technique on how I'm making my 3D backgrounds. Very, very cool. No AI. Absolutely no AI. Don't worry. I don't mess with that stuff. I'm very much against AI. But I'm working with real artists to do some drawn backgrounds and all the character sprites. It's a very cute, funny adventure. It's very like Jacob Dawson type storytelling. Very classic, like sci-fi anime type thing. So, um, I like popped in at the end, but more streams would be nice. I know. I should. I should. Maybe I could try and figure out like a way to do them weekly or something. Um, what's the name gonna be? Oh, the name for my game is Code of Cinder. If you look up Code of Cinder right now, you'll find some stuff on it. I don't have a Steam page yet, and that's because I don't have a trailer yet. But as soon as the trailer is ready, which hopefully within a year, it depends on how fast my team goes. But you know, we all have work, we all have day jobs, right? Like we all have another thing that we're doing. But if we're able to really put it together, I'll get a Steam page up, and then hopefully y'all can play my game. It's pretty fun. It's not just like a typical visual novel. There's like point and click parts. There's parts where you can like explore this like big ship that you're in. It's cool. It's so I'm excited to I'm excited to show that off when I have more stuff ready for it. But as of right now, it's still a work in progress. But yeah, if you like visual novels, you'll probably like it. It's not a very crazy intuitive game. It's just a visual novel, but there is some parts you can look around. Anyway, I'm done. I'm that's enough yap. Yeah, yap. Explosion happening right now. I'm just gonna. I'm wrapping it up. Okay. All right. Yeah, the stream is over. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you all later. Support me on Patreon. Support the Lego. Yeah, that's it. All right. I'm gonna let this song play for a little bit, then I'll end it.